don't listen to the haters, man, I treat them like the enemy. Had a couple traitors, man, but now they know the penalty. I tell them, see you later, fam, I do not need this jealousy. I got no time for failure, man, I wanna leave a legacy. I lock in and I'm sold out, pop up for the whole crowd. I got this, I roll out, I promise, have no doubt. I'm all in, here I go now, call in, you ball out. Take hostage, the pros now, they novice when I throw down.
We gon' make it all the way. We don't care what they all will say. Don't listen to the hate, no, listen to my fate, yo. Destined to be great, yo. And we gon' make it all the way. We don't care what they all will say. Don't listen to the hate, no, listen to my fate, yo. Yeah, we like to go
put me on ESPN, yeah. Put me on top of the 10, yeah. Pilot to get in the game, yeah. No, I ain't here to make friends, yeah. Taking it straight to the bank, yeah. I'm like a shark in a tank, yeah. And if your girl misbehave, yeah, I'll give your girl a mistake, yeah. That's making me out of my head, yeah. I don't belong in my bed, yeah. I should be famous instead, yeah. I will not stop till I'm dead, yeah. Never let them hate, tell them I'll be great. It's gotta be my fate, you can take it to the bank. I just wanna get it while I get it. When I get it, I'll be damned if I'ma let it get away without a fight. I got a plan, yeah.
We gon' make it all the way. We don't care what they all will say. Don't listen to the hate, no, listen to my fate, yo. Destined to be great, yo. And we gon' make it all the way. We don't care what they all will say. Don't listen to the hate, no, listen to my fate, yo. Yeah, we like to go hard.
I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss, see. I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
welcome to my Mind Over Your Matter. My name is Rick, and let's go ahead and turn on the cameras here. We're back in the dark again. Kind of like being in the dark. It's easier on my eyes. I was running a little bit late today. I had a lot of things to do. I was trying to make it on time, but I made it a few minutes late. But it's better late than never. So, you hear that grinding sound? That's right. I'm putting my medicine together. So, bear with me. We're going to watch a couple of videos here. I just opened up a couple of videos. I got to set them up. They're not set up yet. So I'm going to try to do my best to set them up and start watching a couple of things. Yeah, it's been a wild day today for sure. Let's see. There's a lot of things going on. But how's your day going? How was your day? Let's see here. It's Wednesday, so you know what that means. Tomorrow, Tyson de la Cruz will be here at 7:30 p.m. So try to be here and come with some questions. It may be a Halloween special. Who knows, right? Who knows at this point? I don't even know. Majority of the time, I'm like, everything's on the fly. Okay. Trying to get everything set up. Here we go. Everything's like a tad slow today, so I'm trying to be patient. And the key word is try. Let's watch.
I'm gonna cook. Look, that's where I'm cooking. Look.
We are in Catherine Hall in Montego Bay, not too far from the sea, and this entire area was ravaged by Hurricane Melissa. They had flooding and now the residue of mud up and down the streets. And if you look at the aerial video, you see the caked mud and water still residing. The large stadium just outside of this neighborhood is completely inundated with water and mud. And so there's frustrations actually on the street. And I'm just going to kind of get a feel for this. They would like the government to come in here and try to help them with this pickup right now. As you see, we'll have to be quite careful here. What is the situation here right now?
Look here. Look here. Out of all the house that is coming from me.
Jared, come here.
Come here. Come.
We're going to walk through into one of
the power lines.
Streets. Be careful, be careful. Caked with mud, as you can see, as we're walking into it right now. This is quite deep, unfortunately, people walking through. And it's a complete mess right now here in Montego Bay. We have to be very careful because of how deep this mud is.
We need help!
We need help!
The place needs to clear out. This is not good. This can't go, watch it. Can't go. Clear muddy water, watch it. In our house? Come on, man.
12 feet down
That's
the
going to
road.
be hard to clean.
Let's walk out here and take a look. Very fluid situation.
That's where the water comes. Look.
Jared, look at this. Jared, look. You see this? This is the water line right here.
Wow, look how high the water got.
This.
Wow.
Excuse me,
Yes.
3 children I rescued last night. Their parents just flung them over the wall to me.
Only two.
3 children?
Yeah, because the flood was rising, so they rather stay in the flood. I took the kids in there in my house now. I don't know where the parents are.
Are the kids okay?
Kids are good. I have a daughter. They're playing right now.
Are you okay?
I'm okay. I need to
Oh
show
my
you.
God.
Okay.
They don't know where the parents are of these
Let's go
kids. Oh, that's
This is just a complete disaster.
Take your time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just the amount of mud and the mess and the debris is remarkable. And I just want to get a sense for the living conditions right now. And by the way,
Everybody's all
for anyone
hyped there.
watching this is a very raw and fluid situation, as you can
Yeah,
tell.
very raw.
It's quite unbelievable. You see that, look at the darkness and the water coming in here and breaking apart all of their belongings. And now a just complete mud disaster.
Oh my
Washing
goodness.
machine, freezers. We lost all our meat. We have no food and water.
You have no food and
That's
water?
one of the biggest things. If we could get some food and water right now, because we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't have running water. It's crazy.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
Crazy.
A question.
The water was up to here when we were rescuing people last night.
Oh
You literally
my
were taking
God.
people
I
out
was
from
on
this.
this wall. We helped her.
They weren't ready.
My husband over
They weren't ready.
And we might as well experience this with the residents here because this is the only way to show the ground truth. 800.
Let me show you my
different
house. Oh my
apartments and
God.
homes in here, and up and down you can see power lines that are broken. Huge palm trees, like up there.
Oh my God!
Fallen
Look
on
at
the
this.
buildings and mud up and down this street.
We need help to take them out. They no good.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna walk back out.
Look how high the water got.
But thank you
See
for
the
showing
water
me
line.
This is going to be an incredibly long recovery. Number one, they need to get power restored. They need food and water and other resources, as you heard so many.
Yeah,
of them
immediately.
say. For the time being, Robert Ray reporting here in Montego Bay. Fox Weather.
The cones are not working. None of the cones are working.
I know.
I know. Oh my God! What a time to be there. You know, and there's a lot of frustration because, you know, the storm jogged more to the west, okay? And since the storm jogged more to the west, it set up another situation where everyone in Kingston on the eastern side were preparing for the storm, and they were well prepared. And everyone was thinking it's going to go through Kingston, and the storm is going to go through the central part of Jamaica. So everyone from the central to the eastern, they got prepared. And so, but the western part seems like they weren't really preparing. They weren't really like ready for this. And all it took for this eye to cross through White House, not New Hope. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say the landing was New Hope because it wasn't. It was at White House. And destroyed that western part of the Caribbean over there in Jamaica, and not only Jamaica but Cuba. You know, we don't have no reports out of Cuba yet. There's a lot of shit going on, man, and it's devastating because a lot of people are dying, and a lot of people died last night, and we're not gonna know what was the total of how many people die. We're just not gonna know. It's gonna take a while to get that tally up. Damn, man. Let me resize some of these videos that I just opened up. Let's see where we at here. Give me a moment. We are going to figure things out. Okay. We do got some death tolls coming out. Give me 1 second. I got the BBC here, so we could go over onto the BBC. Let's check out the BBC.
We are happy to report that we are able to speak live now to the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, who's in Montego Bay on the north of the island. Prime Minister, thank you very much for making the time to talk to us here at BBC News. We know that you do not have the complete picture yet of the scale of the damage caused by the hurricane, but what can you tell us at this point?
Well, I've just had the opportunity to do an aerial tour of the most damaged areas, and for the southwestern end of the island, particularly for the parishes of St. Elizabeth, Hanover, St. James, where I am now, parts of Manchester, it is serious damage, and in some instances, total devastation.
Wow.
In particular, one town, Black River, has been, you could literally say, totally destroyed. The corridor along which the eye of the hurricane made landfall and proceeded, what you could effectively say is a trail of destruction. I would say about 80 to 90% of roofs were destroyed, hospitals destroyed, libraries, police station, courthouses, urban infrastructure destroyed. So the southwestern end of the island has had serious devastation.
On a personal level, can you describe for us the impact this is having on you, seeing this level of devastation? Obviously, you will have experienced hurricanes before, but not one of this strength, the storm of the century. I'm sure you'll have heard that term being used as it built up in strength prior to making landfall in Jamaica.
Well, no one wants to experience a Category 5 hurricane. There's scarcely any infrastructure that can withstand the strength and devastation that a Category 5 hurricane carries with it. This obviously would not be the first hurricane that we have experienced. Last year we had Hurricane Beryl. The areas that were impacted by this hurricane, I would say, would be twice as devastated as the impact of Hurricane Beryl. For me personally, it is a challenge. Obviously, you really don't want to see your country going through this. But the Jamaican people are highly resilient, strong people, and we will recover from this and recover even stronger.
Prime Minister, I know you are still, of course, assessing the damage. We saw the U.S. Secretary of State say that, rescue teams are on the way. Can you tell us a bit more about what kind of help Jamaica needs right now and what the international community is offering?
Well, we've had very good response from the international community. You mentioned Secretary Rubio, the French, yourselves, the British. CARICOM has really come on board to assist. And we'll be getting assistance, as you have mentioned, help with search and rescue, humanitarian relief. The offers of help have been very expansive, and we're very much appreciative to the international community for the support that is forthcoming so far.
What about the immediate aid, Prime Minister? Water, restoring power. What is it going to take to be able to deliver that in the coming hours and days?
Well, we have a strategy in place for that, and we're going to have the restoration of electricity and telecommunications in the areas that have not been so badly affected. That's the first step. And then we do a comprehensive assessment of the areas that have been really affected. So I would suspect that within the coming days that you will begin to see the restoration of electricity right across the island. In the areas that have been badly affected, it may be a matter of weeks, but I give the assurance to my citizens that we'll be working very hard to have our electricity and telecommunications restored.
Prime Minister, obviously you're focused on immediate needs, but coming back to that idea of resilience that you mentioned a short while ago, I spoke to someone yesterday, Tuesday, in Jamaica, who said that looking further ahead, the country has got to rebuild, not based on what's happened in the past, but to rebuild for future impacts. I'm sure that is something that you have been thinking about. Do you believe that Jamaica will be able to rebuild differently, given the strength of the storm that it has just experienced?
Well, we have a very robust strategy for resilience building, including resilience in our fiscal management and resilience in our infrastructure. We have actually started rebuilding our infrastructure in ways that take into account the new climate that we have. The truth is that our colonial history would have seen our infrastructure develop along coastal areas. And now we have started to move our roadways and highways more internal. And we have improved our building codes. So many of our buildings were able to withstand the hurricane. But you're right, much more needs to be done in terms of ensuring that resilience is mainstream into all aspects of life in Jamaica.
But on that climate issue, you have been advocating for more accessible and flexible climate finance for small islands. And do you think, though, the world is listening, that the countries who historically and indeed in a contemporary sense are responsible for the greatest number of carbon emissions, the greatest amount of carbon emissions, are really listening to the needs of places like Jamaica?
I think the climate debate is one that is seriously challenged in today's world. But the science is clear. There is warming taking place, and it is causing a change in our climate, and the impact of which we feel on a daily basis in the Caribbean, which is more frequent, more intense storms and hurricanes, and that is having a devastating impact on our infrastructure and on our economy.
So I'm done listening to the Prime Minister of Jamaica. Listen, you can blame everything else. You can blame Trump, But don't blame the fucking global warming. You sound stupid now. Let's continue here.
I think you can't overlook, too, the fact that the president is making deal after deal after deal, bringing trillions of dollars of investment to the U.S. while the government is shut down, going on day 29. Vice President J.D. Vance meeting with Senate GOP leaders on Capitol Hill as Democrats sink to the 13th vote to reopen the government.
And the word is the House might be coming back this week. The vote forcing more air traffic controllers to work another day without pay. We spoke to one earlier who was begging Congress to end this shutdown.
Air traffic controllers are not pawns. We shouldn't be the rope in a tug of war. We leave politics to the politicians as air traffic controllers. But we're out saying every day in the shutdown now, pass legislation that puts these hardworking men and women back to work, reduces this distraction, and also gives them the ability to do the job of the unsung heroes they are.
Senior congressional correspondent Chad Pergram joins us live on Capitol Hill with the latest on the shutdown. Chad?
Good morning, guys. Well, Vance said they will, in fact, pay the military again, but there are deep concerns about the shutdown. Senate Majority Leader John Thune warns that things will only get worse. He does not like piecemeal bills to pay certain groups of workers.
It's just the wrong way to do this. There's just a simple way to do it, is to pick up the bill on the desk of the Senate and give us 5 more Democrat votes to pass it.
Air traffic control issues are worsening, plus workers are missing paychecks. There's worry about food benefits for the needy. Those expire this weekend. Democrats are demanding that the White House free up money, which is set aside for an emergency.
This is not an emergency.
It's $8 billion a month.
They just need to wake the fuck up.
We have
Congress.
5 to 6. You bet we could find the rest of the money to do that.
No, you can't use that money like that. These Democrats, man, they'll find a way to waste money.
You don't want to feed your kids. The money is there. Go get it.
She sounds
Secretary
stupid.
of Agriculture Brooke Rollins says her department does not have that kind of money. Senate Chaplain Barry Black is now calling for divine intervention to end the shutdown. This is what he said during the Senate's opening prayer on Tuesday.
Lord, use our legislators to help end this government shutdown. May our senators seek to become a voice for those who are suffering during these challenging times.
Now, earlier this week, Black said that lawmakers should know that there are no gold medals for the longest government shutdown. They're on target to break that record this time next week. Guys?
Chad, when you hear the Democrats say the money is there for the SNAP program, it is there in a contingency form. There are millions of dollars in that, but it can only be used, right, for natural disasters. If they used it for a shutdown caused by the Democrats, and all they have to do is go and vote to make it all open up again, that would be illegal.
Yeah.
Well, that's certainly what the Democrats are saying, and that's why you've had, 20 some odd Democratic governors and attorneys general from various states sued the administration, saying just free up this money. This is where Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, says, look, we approved SNAP benefits if you would, approve the, CR, the continuing resolution to fund the government. Also, the agriculture bill, which deals with those benefits. So, yes, and that's why there's this clash. I understand what Rosa DeLauro is talking about there and the anger on the Democratic side. But Brooke Rollins said on our air yesterday that they simply do not have that money.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm
Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the
Democrats, man, they'll find a way to spend money. It doesn't matter how they get the money. They're going to try to find it and spend it. Even if you have it like for a rainy day, you have this money put away, because you never know. Shit happens, right? Nah, the Democrats, they want to spend that money. They're like, fuck it. Get that money. We have $6 billion there. Let's spend it. It's not because if you cause a stupidity and close the government that we're just going to go and tap into that money. It's not for that. It's for natural disasters. Oh, goodness gracious. That's when, there's natural disasters, earthquakes, very disruptive, like hurricane that hits. They can release that money and give it towards like FEMA and feed the people and release money for certain things. It's just not there to spend it whenever you close the government. That's not your getaway card. It's just we don't play that. And no, don't release that money. Don't, because you're falling into their trap. That's what the Democrats want. They want you to fall into their trap, and we're not falling into their trap. They want to play games, and we're not playing games. Like, these Democrats, man, you got to be careful with them because, like I said, if they find a way to get the money and spend it, they will find a way to get the money and spend it. Nope. Okay, let's go ahead and see what we got here. Let's go with this one. Let's go ahead and put the volume up.
John Thune, let's take you out to these brief remarks on the floor, speaking directly to his Democratic colleagues.
Object. Let me just point out, if I might, that we are 29 days into a Democrat shutdown. And the senator from New Mexico is absolutely right. SNAP recipients shouldn't go without food. People should be getting paid in this country. And we've tried to do that 13 times. And you voted no 13 times. This isn't a political game. These are real people's lives that we're talking about.
They don't care about the people's lives.
And you all just figured out, 29 days in, that, oh, there might be some consequences. There are people who run out of money. Yeah, we're 29 days in. And they've done their best to make sure that a lot of these programs are funded. But at some point, the government runs out of money. 13 times people over here voted to fund SNAP. 13 times they voted to fund WIC. My aching back. Finally realized this thing has consequences. Well, you know what? What Democrats are doing here, they're making plans to keep the shutdown going. And they realize, all of a sudden, 29 days in, that this is a real consequence, real life pain for American families.
They don't care.
Something that results from their shutdown. So are they making plans to end the shutdown and reopen the government? Nope. They're going to propose a bill to fund food stamps during their shutdown. Mr. President, this request is a transparent admission that Democrats want to keep the shutdown for what? Another month? Longer? This bill is a cynical attempt to provide political cover for Democrats to allow them to carry on their government shutdown for the long term. Now, I'll point out, we did 13 short-term clean CRs when they had the majority and President Biden was in the White House. 13. They've now voted 13 times against a clean CR. I have no idea where you're coming from. The Democrat leader said that President Trump could end this with a stroke of his pen. And he's right. We passed that bill with a stroke of his pen, he'll sign it into law. And the government opens up. And SNAP beneficiaries, SNAP recipients get food assistance. But you know what else? TSA workers get paid. Air traffic controllers get paid. Border Patrol agents get paid.
Oh, they don't want that. Ooh, the Democrats don't want that.
People here get paid who are working without pay. You want to extend that and keep that going? Give me a break. So the people who aren't going to get the benefit of what they're trying to do today, Mr. President, are all the other programs that are affected. Head Start, grants to law enforcement to fight fentanyl and hire more cops to protect communities. Rural development programs that are important in my state, Senator from New Mexico State, I assume as well, that support housing, utilities, infrastructure projects in rural communities. Small business loans, certain direct loan and emergency programs that farmers rely on. National Guard training, critical to our nation's military readiness. Veterans transition assistance, as they come out of service. Veteran cemetery services. Right now, there are no headstones, memorial certificates, cemetery maintenance.
Wow.
Programs that are at risk. Rental and housing assistance.
Oh, no.
Delays in processing FHA insured loans. Delays in aircraft.
He's going to really fuck up the government, man. Democrats really want to fuck up the government.
People that are currently not getting paid.
That's crazy.
I mentioned some of them, but air traffic controllers, TSA officers, Capitol Police, the people who protect us in this building, NOAA employees who are tracking hurricanes and other potential weather disruptions, disasters, food inspectors, other food and drug safety officials, mine safety inspectors.
Democrats don't care.
People who don't have pay certainty right now, troops, Coast Guard, ICE, Border Patrol, federal law enforcement, federal federal wildland fighters, firefighters, extenders that have lapsed, telehealth and at-home care, community health centers, teaching health centers, special diabetes programs, payments for ambulances,
grocery stores,
at-home services,
bodegas.
other lapsed
They're not going to get paid by EBT.
Prevent against cyber attacks.
Their food's going to rot.
National flood insurance program to prevent closure, I should say, on homes in flood zones. That's what you're leaving on the table. The bill at the desk takes care of all of it. Funds SNAP, funds WIC, and yes, with the stroke of the president's pen, he can sign it into law and everybody starts getting paid again. This is got to stop.
They need 5 more
Hostage-taking.
Democrats to come over and vote
Now
to
you want
open
some
the
political
government.
cover. How long is this going to go on? How much longer do you want to see it go on? Just out of curiosity. So you think this buys some time? You want the shutdown to go on for another month, and then we're going to have another people come down here and, well, let's carve this out or carve this out. Why don't we just open the government? I've never seen anything like this. I've been here a good amount of time. I've seen continuing resolutions and appropriations problems and funding fights and government shutdowns. I've been through a few. I've never seen anything like this.
The Democrats are really spoiled, man.
Discussion about health care? Absolutely. Let's do it. Open the government. Let's do it. President will sit down with Democrats next week if you want to talk about health care. That's not what this is about.
It's about the fucking illegals.
So, Mr. President, we're not going to pick winners and losers. It's time to fund everybody who's experiencing the pain from this shutdown. The Democrats really want to fund SNAP and WIC. I have a bill for them, sitting right there at the desk. Clean, nonpartisan, CR to fund SNAP, WIC, and the entire government, and all the many programs and people that the Democrat SNAP bill completely ignores. Mr. President, Democrats have spent a month now, playing with people's livelihoods because the far left wing of their party won't let them accept a clean, nonpartisan CR. If they want to prevent damage from their shutdown, they can end the shutdown. The bill's right here at the desk. So, Mr. President, I ask that the senator from New Mexico modify his request so that the Senate can proceed to the immediate consideration of calendar number 168, H.R. 5371, that the bill be considered read a third time it passed, and the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table.
Does the senator so modify? All right, just listening in there to.
All right, so let's keep it moving because we got a lot to watch. Let's turn on the
MyMindoverYourMatter, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Here's your meme of the day, brought to you by 5mind.com. Alright, so there it is. Chuck Schumer blinks and tosses out a deal. All of a sudden, Schumer has an offer for the GOP to work towards ending this shutdown. And his little deal here is to re-enable SNAP benefits while keeping the government shut down, while keeping the people hostage. I mean, if we didn't already have evidence that this whole thing is bad faith and Chuck Schumer is a terrible person, well then here it is. This is the most transparent damage control play that you will ever see. The Democrats have essentially spent the last couple of weeks bragging that pain is their leverage, but now that the pain that they're causing is backfiring on them, all of a sudden they want Republicans to bail them out from this position that they've taken. What happened? I thought pain was your leverage, but now you want to ease the pain. And again, without reopening government. I am just so utterly confused, I don't even understand the angle anymore. It just feels like desperate flailing. They're doing whatever. You know, I'm sure behind the scenes they think they're brilliant. Oh, here's what we're gonna do in response to all the negative press. Oh, this will definitely put pressure on the GOP. I don't know, these people need to go back to negotiation school. They need to read The Art of the Deal, because this is possibly the dumbest move Chuck Schumer has made yet. Let me show you guys the latest offer from Chuck Schumer. And of course, let's continue decimating all these Democrat talking points and stances. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so take a look at this Chuck Schumer offer. He's extending an offer to the GOP.
Where are the Republicans? As people are losing their health care and have huge pain and pits in their stomach about what to do about it, where kids are not getting fed, Trump's out of the country, House Republicans are out on vacation.
I would modify it. Hey, Seven, what's up? I wouldn't end it. I would modify it for only Americans.
Deeper.
Hold on. Let me pause this idiot here and let's discuss about this. I would modify it, right? And how I would break it down is like for the most needy, and it's for the Americans, right? I mean, if you're disabled, seniors, children, I think they shouldn't be part of the mixed in with all the others that are taking advantage of the system, you know, because a lot of disabled people, a lot of elderly people, and a lot of children cannot work and cannot like do things to pay for themselves, so they depend on these supplements to help them out and to get them through the month. And it's totally understandable, and I feel like they should be excluded from this shutdown bullshit, and they shouldn't be affected like Social Security. They can't touch Social Security. Social Security has to be paid out, so it's like tied in like that. But for the other ones, like putting all these illegal immigrants and everyone that came through that border, that's what they were handing out. They were dropping off all their documents. They were just throwing it at the border, and then on the other side, they were getting all EBT cards. And guess what? They had thousands upon thousands of dollars on it. I kid you not. These people were giving, like, the United States were giving them credit cards. They were throwing them credit cards. You have people that are illegal in this country that got credit in this country and have over $500,000 in debt in credit cards. So what are you going to do? Deport them? And then they're not going to pay their bill. So who gets to pay that $500,000 bill? The American taxpayers. See what I mean? The Democrats, they're very, very fucking sneaky. Like, I know that meeting that Kamala Harris went to South America. I know that girl was like, yeah, just let them all in. Just, it's part of the plan. Don't worry about it. We're going to be running this country for the long time. That's what, she thought, when she went to South America, and just the gates just flooded wide open with illegals. And they were dumping out all their prisoners, all their mentals. They just threw them with the population and told them, get the fuck out. And if you come back, we'll kill you or we'll throw you in jail. That's They all left and they all came to the United States. And guess what? They're all on EBT. They're all on food stamps. So it's an infiltration of a program that was set aside for individuals, Americans that are disabled, are seniored, are children. You know, they supposed to we're taking care and helping out. It's a supplemental. It's not you go and buy up $3,000 in groceries and start twerking all over your groceries on TikTok. Like, that's a disgrace. That's a slap to the face to every taxpayer that put money into the system. You know, you're out there twerking with $3,000 of groceries, 3 carts, like 3 carts, and it's like $3,000. I was like, that's a fucking ripoff. I don't know what the fuck she bought that was that expensive, but that's what they be doing. You go to TikTok, you see for yourself. I don't have TikTok. I don't support that app. I don't trust it. If I don't trust it, I ain't using it. And people are going to suffer. I know a lot of seniors that are friends with mine that are very worried and concerned, and they're going to have to go to a food pantry to get food until the food stamps are put back. And you know, seniors can't go back. Like, these are older people. These are like in their 70s, 80s. You know, even disabled people. What are you going to do with someone that's disabled, that's at home, stuck in bed, and can't fucking move or anything, and now you're cutting that person's food stamps? Because why? You want to close the government because you want to get it your way, and you want us to waste $1.5 trillion on your stupid budget, Democrats? I mean, help me make it make sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. We're not funding any more of these immigrants. They need to go back home. They need to go back. And the only way to cut, like, to really get back, you know, and especially the way the system is, we got to cut it, you know, and have everyone suffer at the same time. And those illegals, remember, they're not getting their $2,000, $3,000 of food. You know, they're not getting that money. So what they're going to do, they're going to start getting desperate. And this is what's going to happen. Be very careful while you're out and about. Crime is going to go up. Starting this weekend, crime is going to be ridiculously high. Don't be surprised if you hear in the news that a couple of Walmarts got raided and they started taking food and taking things and just not paying for it. You're going to hear a lot of that. Mom and pops, the bodegas, they're going to have problems. Little grocery store chains like C-Town, and they're going to suffer because they depend on that money, especially Walmart. Oh my God, Walmart it's going to get hit because they get billions. I think they get it's like 20 something or 30 something $billion from EBT, from everyone using EBT to buy food at Walmart and stuff. Walmart's not getting that money. So now you're putting Walmart in a jeopardy spot too, because they're not getting paid neither. So this is a whole chain reaction that the Democrats didn't really think this through. For every action, there's a reaction, and the reaction is never better than the action. My God. Okay, let's go back to listen to the stupid asshole. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about Chuck Schumer. This asshole.
It's time for Republicans to get serious about ending the shutdown. So today, Democrats will introduce a bill that would extend the SNAP funding and WIC to make sure no child goes hungry, no family goes without food.
Yeah, for you 7, it will work.
We'll get broad, if not
see, for me, it wouldn't work for me.
Caucus, and we will try to get it passed on the floor. We will try to get it passed on the floor.
I just don't trust TikTok.
Bottom line, it's time for Republicans to start getting serious about ending this shutdown before families lose their health care, their food.
What you want them to
and their
do?
Faith that the president, that leaders.
They're not going to vote for your bullshit
You see
$1.5
how he's
trillion
framing it,
spending
right?
bill.
Suddenly, he's Mr. Compassion, pleading about helping the families. Ooh, what happened to pain is your leverage. Now, all of a sudden, you want to be Santa Claus, right? Oh, let's give all the people their SNAP benefits while maintaining the shutdown. Why would anybody agree to that? So you can pretend you're freaking Oprah Winfrey? Go to all your little leftist minions who don't want to work? And of course, some people who actually deserve these government benefits and entitlements. So you can go to those people and say, oh, look at me, I'm Santa Claus. Look what I'm doing for you. You take something away and now want to give it back. Give back the crumbs. This absolute clown, and he also has the gall to say that it's time for Republicans to get serious about reopening the government. What a monumental loser. Time for Republicans to get serious about reopening the government? You're the one keeping it closed. Republicans have been voting daily to reopen the government. You even got 3 Democrats who are doing the same thing, who are voting against you. And now, of course, as everything has gone sour, you guys want a little line of relief here so you can claim it's a humanitarian win. Another publicity stunt. The No Kings rally didn't work, and so now it's this. The whole reframing on this situation is so utterly despicable, and again, telling as to who the Democrats are. And it's not just the politicians, it's their mouthpieces as well, like Kyle Kulinski. Here he is quote tweeting an article from The Hill. The headline reads, Senate Democrats block government funding bill for the 13th time, which is objective fact. And he responds by saying, breaking, Senate Democrats block your healthcare premiums from tripling for the 13th time. Would be a much better headline than this low IQ horseshit. Yeah, the Hill article that's stating an objective fact, that's the low IQ horseshit. Really, it's about the GOP trying to triple your healthcare premiums. First of all, the expiration date on the Obamacare subsidies was signed into law by Democrats to end in 2026, which really makes you think this whole thing was orchestrated before the fact. So Democrats are to blame for that policy expiring during a midterm, by the way. Secondly, we're still 2025. There's all kinds of time to continue those subsidies. It's almost as if the Democrats want to convince their voters that the moment this government shutdown happens, all of a sudden, healthcare premiums are going to multiply by 1 trillion quintillion. That's not what's happening. It's not that urgent. And again, the shutdown has nothing to do with that. They're pushing fear-mongering and panic. Republicans have shown willingness to negotiate that particular issue. You just have to open government to do so. In other words, the only people who are stopping possible legislation to affect those premiums are the Democrats, not Republicans. The only low IQ horseshit here is coming out of Kyle Kulinski's mouth. And again, if your ideas and your policy stances are so supported by the American people, if you're fighting for something that's so righteous, then reopen the government and pass it during sunlight. Anything else would be a ransom payment at this point. And the GOP should not cave, because the strategy here, again, they're desperate for a headline, just so they can say that the shutdown was worth it. You cannot give that to them. That would be the worst type of political enabling, to enable the Democrats to continuously do this stuff every time they don't get what they want. It's nothing but manipulations and lies. And actually, speaking of manipulations, not just the words coming out of Chuck Schumer's mouth during that little press conference, but also the sign that he's standing next to. They rolled out this little sign next to Schumer that reads, "The president's top priority is the White House ballroom construction," as if President Trump doesn't care about reopening the government, doesn't care about the people. No, he's just focused on the ballroom, and they're saying that based on a quote from Caroline Leavitt. But of course, this quote is misrepresented, taken out of context and edited. You know, like the Democrats always do. Another very fine people hoax. And actually, in this case, it's so utterly dishonest, the framing is so manipulative, that even CNN's own Caitlin Collins fact-checked Jasmine Crockett on the exact issue when she tried to push it on air.
Do you believe this will be the week that Congress comes to an agreement here?
I have no idea. I mean, you started off talking about the fact that the president is in Japan. The president has time to do everything but what he needs to focus on. In fact, we heard the press secretary say that his main priority is the ballroom that no one asked for, the ballroom that requires him to destroy historic pieces of the White House. And so it doesn't seem like he's interested.
And that context of the comment from Caroline Leavitt, she was asked if the president was working on any other renovations when it came to the White House, and she was saying, his focus was the ballroom. But to your point about what the president said.
Exactly. The quote was about ongoing renovation work at the White House. President Trump is focused particularly on the ballroom.
Yeah, like my subscription hasn't gone up either.
Here, right? Cherry pick.
I've been stuck at 518 for like a week.
Whole
actually, like 2 weeks.
Narrative. At first, it was, oh, he's paying for the ballroom with taxpayer funds. Meanwhile, the government shut down. That was a lie.
YouTube likes to suppress people, man.
And so now it's this. Moving the goalpost. Move to the next dishonest claim. At first, it was the $1.5 trillion in spending. Then it was healthcare for illegals. Then it was healthcare premiums. Then it was, oh, we just want $20 billion. Now it's, oh, we want to give SNAP benefits. But Republicans aren't serious about reopening the government. Just reopen the damn government. No little SNAP carve-out gambits here. You obviously just want to force a vote on that so Republicans can vote against it, and then you could say, look, see, the Republicans are taking away your SNAP. Or if Republicans cave and pass it, you could say, look at what we got. Now we can reopen the government. Stop with the emotional manipulation like this from Bernie Sanders. Holy moly, has Bernie Sanders really sullied himself over the years?
We are here today to send a very loud and a very clear message to President Trump. Obey the law. I know that's a hard concept for the president, but obey the law. Do what Congress mandated you do. Do not let children in America and their parents and grandchildren go hungry. Do not go down as the first president in history to manufacture a hunger crisis in the richest country on earth. Release these funds. Now, the good news is there are at least 11 Republicans in the Senate who are supporting a bipartisan bill to ensure that no one in America goes without the nutrition assistance they need during the shutdown. And that is very good news. And I thank those 11 Republicans. Every Democrat supports that bill as well.
Don't go down as the first president to manufacture a hunger crisis. As if Trump is doing that. No, that is you. Open the government and SNAP funds continue at current spending levels. The only people who are manufacturing hardship are the people who claim that the pain they're causing here is their leverage. Everything with these Democrats is some sort of disgusting play or little slogan, some misrepresentation that they plaster on their frickin' posters. But again, all of it, I think, really tells one story. They are getting desperate. They're trying to do anything to salvage this situation. But honestly, I'm thinking there is no salvation here. I don't think the GOP is going to play their game. Why should they? They're in a position of power. They're on the right side. Democrats are the ones cratering. It's already been, what, 3 weeks? Probably even longer? The damage has already been done. The Democrats made their bed. Now make them sleep in it. Then comes the Democrats, at least the ones with a little bit of integrity, turning against the party, reopening this government, and Schumer's plan falling flat on its face. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
All right, let's keep it moving.
Right now to a major story as a truckload of aggressive research monkeys escape after a crash in Mississippi. And yes,
what the fuck?
That is a real headline. I want to put it up.
Are you kidding me?
Fox from our Fox 2016 as a truck hauling monkeys from Tulane University in New Orleans flipped on a Mississippi highway, freeing several large monkeys. After the wreck, several monkeys escaped into the community. According to the Jasper County Sheriff's Office, the animals carrying hepatitis C, herpes, and COVID. For more on this, let's go on to Jonathan Terry.
Of course. Of course.
These monkeys could be dangerous.
Police in Jasper County, Mississippi were not monkeying around on Tuesday after a truck overturned, allowing primates to stage a jailbreak. It happened on I-59 near the town of Heidelberg, about 100 miles southeast of Jackson. The truck was carrying research monkeys from the Tulane University National Biomedical Research Center in New Orleans. It's not clear how many escaped when the accident happened, but they were all eventually hunted down and killed, except for 3 escapees, still on the lam in Jasper County.
We're going to do this quick because we don't need to be too close to these. We've got law enforcement with guns here where we are, and there's a reason for that.
But Tulane says there's no danger to the public, writing in a statement, quote, the
Of
primates
course
in
not.
question belong to another entity and they have not been exposed to any infectious agent. The university says it regularly provides primates for scientific research, and these monkeys were being transported by a third party. It's not clear why police were not informed sooner, but the sheriff's office
They need
issued
to
a
test those
statement writing in
monkeys.
part, quote, the driver of the truck told local law enforcement that the monkeys were dangerous and posed a threat to humans. We took the appropriate actions after being given that information from the person transporting the monkeys.
Yep.
The animal rights
You
group
see?
PETA
No one's
condemned the
lying.
incident as another example of bad actions by what it calls the greedy monkey experimentation industry. In Atlanta, Jonathan Seri, Fox News.
All right, thank you so much for that. And the manhunt, nay, the monkey hunt for those 3 escapees remains in Mississippi. I'm Andy Mack. We're back after this.
Did they fucking make a movie out of this fucking monkeys? What was that movie with Dustin Hoffman, I believe? And Morgan Freeman is in the movie. Damn, I forgot the name of the movie. I know Seven's gonna come up with it. That's why Seven's the best. You know, I got certain people that know. I'm just trying to remember the fucking. I know Dustin Hoffman. It was I forgot her name. Fuck. Oh, it's gonna kill me. I hate when I have these like I can see the movie. I'm like watching the movie in my head, right? But I cannot come up with the motherfucking name of the movie right now. And I want someone to type it in. just look for a fucking Morgan Freeman. I don't want to check the G word. I don't want to go to the G word. But what the name was that fucking movie? It's a really good movie too. But it's about the fucking monkey and he scratches the dude or spits on him. I fucking forgot, and he got sick and then he ended up dying from the fucking disease. It was like it's something like that's gonna happen. I don't know. 3 monkeys, right? So weird, right? The numbers. Weird. You had a hurricane making landfall in White House. They want to claim New Hope, but in reality, it was White House. Now you had a truck full of monkeys, which the driver says they're very dangerous and they have diseases. He knows because he has the fucking report. They told him this. It's not like he does not know. But now you have the University of Tulane saying, no, they were healthy. They were not sick. They were normal monkeys. Makes you think, who is fucking lying here? Of course, they're going to use the media to be like, pass the story and be like, no. They were not sick. They were experimental monkeys, but they weren't touched yet. Okay. Are we still fucking messing with monkeys and experimenting on monkeys? That's so barbaric. Like, they still doing that shit. It's like, why you need monkeys for? Like, why don't you use yourself? Test on humans. Dude, leave the monkeys alone for a while. There's a lot of humans, especially on the left, that need treatment. They have very bad TDS syndrome. And I just feel bad for them, you know. It's like the TDS it's a very, very mind, like, I guess it's like a parasite that gets in their brain and it makes them go completely left. And then they go protest and not know what they're protesting about. Like, I don't get it. Help me make it make sense. It's a crazy world. I'm telling you, I died. I came back alive. I'm seeing everything that's happening, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is so fun. Oh, great. Let's keep it going because we got some more news to watch. This is fun. I hope you guys are having a good time because I am. It's Wednesday, and I was late. Ugh.
From the feds in California any moment now, following a dramatic pre-dawn raid caught exclusively by Fox News. It ended with the arrest of an anti-ICE activist, one who was accused of smashing the windows of immigration agents' vehicles. Look at that, earlier this year during an ICE raid on a Southern California pot farm. Our correspondent Matt Finn has got exclusive live details for this. On this, he's in Camarillo, California for us. Matt?
Hey, John, you may recall there was a pretty notable immigration raid on a pot farm here in Camarillo earlier this summer. Some pretty disturbing viral video out of that. Suspects throwing rocks and objects at federal agents' cars as they exited their immigration raid that included hundreds of arrests. That was back in July. Well, this morning, we were exclusively on hand in a pre-dawn sting as HSI arrested a guy in a dark alleyway. They say Issei Carrillo is seen in that viral video throwing rocks at federal cars. Carrillo is allegedly part of an anti-ICE activist group that intentionally blocked the federal agent cars on the pot farm and then ambushed the agents on the way out. HSI says at least 4 vehicles were damaged in that attack and a federal contractor was injured after a rock and shards of glass struck their hand. Carrillo is expected to be federally charged with conspiracy to impede or injure a federal officer. Now, this is all a part of a broader sweep this morning happening across Southern California, targeting people who engage in alleged violence against law enforcement during this summer's immigration raids in the LA area. We expect a press conference at any moment to give us full details. Also this morning, as we were embedded with HSI, there was a female, a target, they had a warrant for her arrest, but she narrowly escaped, and we believe she's going to be named a fugitive. Back to you.
Matt, we're going to go from you in Camarillo to downtown Los Angeles, and here's the acting U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California, Bill Asale.
In response to recent immigration enforcement actions in Los Angeles. To date, we have charged 97 individuals either with assault or impeding of federal agents engaged in immigration enforcement operations, and we will continue to charge more as we obtain the evidence. Earlier this summer, federal agents engaged in law enforcement operations targeted at removing illegal immigrants who entered the United States unlawfully. In response, large protests began to form throughout the Los Angeles area. I want to be very clear. Every American has a right to peacefully protest. What is not constitutionally protected is a right to engage in violence or to impede federal agents by assaulting, doxing, or obstructing their operations. On July 10th, law enforcement officers were executing a court-ordered search warrant at locations in Ventura County. Protesters, including members of an organization named VC Defensa, came to the site of the search warrants. VC Defensa is an organization that operates and manages what they call a rapid response network designed to impede federal agents and their enforcement operations. And that warrant is what you see on the camera there at the marijuana farm where the agents were attempting to leave. In one of the criminal complaints today, we are charging 2 members of VC Defensa for conspiring to impede and injure federal law enforcement officers. These 2 VC Defensa members went to the protests on July 10th in Ventura County and acted with others to assault enforcement vehicles and officers. One of the members charged in the complaint used her vehicle to block U.S. government vehicles from leaving the location, while another member and others ambushed the vehicles by throwing rocks at them, and those images went viral. Several government vehicles were damaged and a federal contract employee was injured as a rock went through her vehicle window, shattering the glass and striking her. And you're going to hear more about that case here shortly. Separately, in another incident that you also see on the TV here, on June 8th in downtown Los Angeles Civic Center, a group of agitators used the protests as an excuse to throw rocks, bottles, and other objects at officers, injuring several of them. Government and private property were vandalized. Los Angeles police declared an unlawful assembly, yet the violence continued. 9 of the defendants charged in that second criminal complaint were filmed on cell phones by local news and other media, throwing rocks, bottles, and objects, including objects on fire from an overpass on Main and Los Angeles Street here in downtown LA onto the CHP officers and their vehicles. 2 defendants charged in today's complaint were recorded lighting debris on fire and throwing it at CHP vehicles, pouring what appeared to be flammable liquid, which increased the size of the flames. The officers and vehicles were on the freeway after removing demonstrators who had marched onto the freeway to block traffic lanes. During the mayhem, one CHP vehicle was set ablaze. Officers were trapped while an angry mob threw debris at them from above. 9 individuals in that mob are charged with obstructing, impeding, and interfering with law enforcement during a civil disorder. That is a felony, a federal felony that carries a statutory maximum sentence of 5 years in federal prison. Lastly, federal agents today also arrested Giovanni Canil, a Boyle Heights resident who pepper sprayed a vehicle while the FBI SWAT officers were inside of it. Those officers were at a scene of a search warrant execution at Ambiance Apparel, a business in downtown LA on June 6th. Canil is charged with pepper spraying them as they left the scene, causing injuries to at least 2 officers. Again, these are criminal complaints and allegations. Everyone is entitled to a presumption of innocence until proven guilty in a court of law. As we have said many times, violence in any form, specifically targeted at law enforcement, is unacceptable and illegal. You will be arrested, you will be charged, and you will face serious prison time. For those people who disagree with federal immigration laws, you need to take it up with Congress. Congress passed those laws, and we are obligated to enforce them. We will not tolerate violence against officers who are simply doing their job. Yeah, and this, I want to be clear, this is not a game. I think some people out there think this is some sort of a game or political stunt, and you have elected officials who are encouraging this behavior. The consequences here are extremely serious. Just last week, we had an individual who rammed his vehicle at our agents, and he was shot by law enforcement. So not only was he shot, he was also charged with assault, and now he's looking up to 20 years in federal prison. So again, this isn't a game. Not only are these actions dangerous, they're also ineffective. We have not and we will not stop our immigration enforcement operations. Nothing will stop us. Nothing. So with that, I want to turn it over to Eddie Wang, the Special Agent in charge of Homeland Security Investigations here in Los Angeles.
All right, so there's Bill Asaley, the acting U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California, talking about these arrests, some of them in connection with the violent clash between protesters and agents at that pot farm in Camarillo back in the summertime. Bill Asaley saying this is not a game and it's not going to stop ICE and the government from enforcing the laws of the United States of America. Asaley saying that if people have got a problem with it, take it up with Congress.
We have not. We will not stop. Nothing will stop us. You heard it there. This is not a joke. This is incredible to still look at this video and actually happen. And obviously, Bill Asaley means business, Sean.
Well, the guy who was on the throwing end of that rock now in custody and facing some serious jail time.
Hey.
Crazy. This next one that we're gonna watch, it has a warning on it, so let me warn you guys. It's like distressing content, so viewer discretion is advised. Just put out that warning real quick, because I don't know what we're gonna see, and it has to do with Brazilian gangs. Okay, we're gonna watch it together. Let's go. Set it up. Here we go. You see. All right. Here we go. It's like a roller coaster ride. Put your hands up. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Damn, there's a lot of them together.
Fala comigo, mestre. Não, tá tudo seguro.
Aí, vou passar aí, ó. Deixa eu passar aí rapidinho.
They're checking for drugs.
De anotação, as drogas. Mais um material aqui, podre. Deixa eu botar ali, deixa eu filmar ali. Material aí, chefe.
Damn, look at weapons.
Pistolas.
No swearing, no swearing, no swearing. Hold on, everyone's going out. This is all about peace of mind. This is all about peace of mind now. You're going to be rude. You're going to be rude. Hey, look, go another. Go, guys. No rudeness. You can go. Go, guys. Go, guys. There's a rudeness, no rudeness. This is man time. That's it. Come on, guys. Come on. Look, there's a dead friend here on the ground. You understand? This is all about peace of mind.
This is like crazy. I don't know what the hell this is. Damn, look at all these guys. How's all these guys together and they're holding hands? Holy shit. All these guys in one place? And they're all shirtless? What's going on here? At least he has a shirt. Only one had a shirt. Oh, look, it's like war. It's a jump part. Wow, Brazil's getting rid of their fucking gangs. This is what needs to happen in Chicago. This is what needs to happen in Chicago. Just how you get rid of your gang that are disrupting and killing innocent people. I mean, that's what needs to happen in fucking Chicago. They need to go and just gather them up. You know, we don't have enough jails in the United States. I told Trump, I already said like a long time ago, build more jails. You build more jails, it's still profitable for the government because we got to house them. And you know what's the fucked up thing? Our prisoners are going to eat. Are they going to eat? Because I think they run on SNAP or some kind of program, right? Like a food program that they get food. So if us Americans outside of jail are not eating because of the government, are the prisoners eating? Because they shouldn't be eating too. If that's the case, help me make it make sense. All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, my favorite. Oh, but it's a long one. Oh, but I want to watch it. Oh, decision. What time is it? I got the time. Let's watch it. Oh, this is going to be a good one. We got to watch it together. Yeah, paid for by us taxpayers. Exactly. Fucking Terry, it doesn't take a rocket science to fucking like put 2 and 2 together. Hello. Like, let's watch this next one, because this one I really love her, and her name is Melody King. And if you're not subscribed to her, you guys should subscribe to her. She's amazing. I love her reporting. I love how she puts things together, and I like listening to her, and I want to watch her show. So I'm going to put it on here for us to watch, and, you know, we'll form our opinions. Let's go. 24 minutes. Holy smokes, almost 25 minutes. Hey, it's going to be a good little run, okay? Let's enjoy this. Well, let's put up the volume.
That are keeping this government shutdown going. And they're admitting it themselves. Even places like CNN. CNN, yes, I cannot believe it. They are even admitting this. But there's a lot to break down today, because I want to continue a little bit with what the story I gave out earlier. Look at your screen now. Look at what I have up here, and then we're gonna get some more info. So it says if 43 million Americans are on EBT and SNAP and 48% are illegal immigrants, okay?
Oh my God.
Then that means 20,640,000 people, 20 million plus 600,000 for, okay, the way they have it, it confused me. But look at this, all right? So the blue are U.S. born headed households. The orange are legal immigrant households, and the purple is illegal headed households.
Oh my God.
So this comes from CIS.org. I've seen this in several places. News
No
report about
wonder.
it. But look at this. So any welfare at all, 39% are
man.
Americans, U.S. born Americans. Next, 52% are legal immigrants. 59% are illegals.
Oh my God.
So let's look at cash. And you may be wondering, cash, that doesn't make sense. They're getting cash. Yes, I'm going to show you something.
Oh no.
16% Americans, 23% we have legal immigrants, 18% illegals.
Oh my
Going
God.
to food. So this is SNAP, EBT,
Anywhere for cash.
food stamps.
Food.
25% are Americans, born Americans. 34% legal immigrants. 48% are illegals.
Oh my God.
So if people are wondering why they're not
Medicaid.
getting their SNAP benefits, we already know that the Democrats are using this as leverage. They've admitted this. I've played that clip before. Okay, they know people are going to go hungry. They know people are going to suffer. They know it's the holidays. They don't give a damn because they said it's leverage for their agenda.
They should
But
put
look at this, and this
Americans
ties
should get
into
the fucking EBT.
the next thing,
Fuck that
Medicaid.
shit, man.
So 25% Americans, 36% legal immigrants, 39% illegals. First of all, I don't think
Medicaid.
anyone who is not American should be getting it. Legal, illegal, especially illegal, like that's not even a conversation. Legal, I got to see what the situation is. Are they paying taxes? Are they contributing? But if you're coming here as an
Illegally.
immigrant and you want to become a citizen here, you should not be living off of our tax dollars. Only
Nope.
American citizens should be getting any type of assistance from the government. If you come here legally, you have to work like the rest of us. We're not going to get benefits if we go to another country. We're going to have to work. We have to show that we can provide for ourselves. So they shouldn't be on it. But then illegals, they're getting the majority in most of these categories. Okay? So then housing. Now housing is a way lower number than I thought. 5% American, 5% legal immigrants, and 4% illegal aliens. All right, now I want to show you this next thing. So it says even fake news CNN is ripping Democrats over their refusal to vote to reopen the government. 13 times they have refused, guys, refused. They don't care if the military is not getting paid. They don't care if people are losing their SNAP benefits. They don't care about anything. They don't care if, federal workers are just government employees, but outside of that, contractors. There's so many industries that are being hurt by this. So this isn't just going to be, federal workers aren't getting paid. That's no big deal. Ha ha ha. No, this is bleeding out across all industries. Okay. Because if one segment of the population is not getting paid, and plus you consider the SNAP and all those other things, you have to understand the government has its hands in everything. People are relying on this. Corporations rely on this. So they're going to start laying people off. They're going to start getting rid of people. And I have a video next about the Amazon layoffs and how there is a big push to replace people with AI. We knew that was coming, but we are seeing it in real time. And it's almost like a lot of this is manufactured so they can usher these things in. Right? Okay, so they create these crises. So, we can't open. Look at COVID. Look at how many people lost their jobs, how many things were closed, how many industries, and we still are not normal from pre-COVID levels of anything. We're still, things have changed. Even when you go to restaurants, you got to scan the QR. Like the quality of service, the quality of food, things have just gone down. And we've really got to see yes, COVID was like an excuse to just, we know, usher in all types of things, but just the quality of life for Americans, people who are paying taxes, has gone down significantly, and we still are not where we were before. But let's go ahead and listen to this clip.
Should the Democratic senators from New Mexico, your home state, vote to open the government so that these SNAP funds are not at risk?
Let me be clear. The administration is choosing to starve American children with money that they already have appropriated.
I'm not applauding
I'm
not applauding their
by
tactics.
the White House.
Well,
this is a choice by the White House.
This
They
is
are
also,
choosing
Congresswoman,
to
this
cut
is
off
also a
food
choice
assistance.
by Senate Democrats
No,
to
it
not
is
vote to
not.
open the government. Yes, it is.
This
I understand
Senate-
why they're doing it. They're doing it because they want Medicaid funds restored. They're doing it because they want Obamacare premiums to be extended past the end of the year. I understand the reasoning.
Sir, let me just be clear. The money for contingency plans is sitting there. That is why the states are suing. The White House is withholding funds from
2 to 3
children
weeks worth
to
of
have
SNAP funds.
food.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it may not be a big deal to you, but let me
It is
tell
a
you
big
that
deal to
for
me.
the grandparents, for grandparents
big deal
that
to me.
literally are feeding their children,
My point
to
is that
not
it's a
have
short-term
money
solution.
in those accounts.
It's
It
a
doesn't
short-term-
matter. At the end of the day, people need to be able to feed their families, and Saturday is when those funds
If you
run
feel
out,
so
and we are
strongly,
fighting to
Congresswoman,
get
why
that
not
funding.
ask the Senate Democrats from New Mexico to vote to open the government so that the SNAP funds...
Sir, I am here in the
Hey,
House of
what's up, Bob?
Representatives. It is shut down. I am fighting to get the government reopened. I am fighting to get funding put back into SNAP that is already existent, and I am fighting for the American people. I am here. But show me a single Republican that is here. Not a single one is here to make sure that Americans are fed on Saturday.
Right.
That is why I am here.
Democratic Congresswoman Melanie Stansbury from New Mexico.
They already voted, though.
The fact that we have the same name is egregious, but I'm going to tell you, Melanie, you did a great job with the gaslighting there. She didn't answer one question directly. No accountability at all. There's some emergency funding they can do, 2 to 3 weeks of SNAP benefits so people can eat. Excuse me? Like, are you just slow? No, she's not slow. She's a gaslighting liar. Okay? She's not addressing that they shut down the government to push through this Medicaid Obama extension, which that is not what it's about. I did an expose on that, guys, if you haven't seen it. Okay. This is a way to stuff money into the pockets of the insurance companies because they still get paid. Guys, they are still medical insurance companies are still getting paid. They are still getting paid from the government. While our own military couldn't get paid, it is baked in that they still get paid. And there's a whole thing about it. There's a woman, a congresswoman who exposed this. I won't go into the details, but this is an absolute lie. But the fact that she is trying to blame, it doesn't matter just 2 or 3 weeks. It's illogical on its face, ma'am. They're doing it because they want to keep pushing in illegals. They don't want anything to be let go for illegals because that is their new base. That's how they're going to drum up new votes. Okay. And while they're trying to do that, it's not going to work. Sorry, I'm going to move this screen over here. So it's not going to work. And I'm going to show you exactly why it's not going to work. Let me pull up. Okay. So here we go. They're doing all this so they can keep illegals in their back pocket. But unfortunately for them, the jig is up. All right. So it says the numbers don't lie. Republicans' approval rises 5 points since the shutdown and plus 8 points among independents. Democrats' playbook is backfiring. Americans know who's keeping the door shut, and it's not the GOP. So let's take a listen to this.
Starting with Republicans, how has the shutdown seemed to have affected their political standing?
Yeah, you might think, given that the Republicans are in charge of both the House and the Senate, that a government shutdown might actually hurt the Republican brand. But in fact, it hasn't. If anything, it's been helped a little bit. Take a look here, the shift in net popularity versus pre-shutdown. When we're looking at the Republican Party overall, that brand actually up 2 points. That's within the margin of error, but clearly it hasn't dropped. Come over to this side of the screen. Look at the net approval ratings for Republicans in Congress. It's actually up 5 points since pre-shutdown. So what we're seeing here is the Republican brand in Congress has actually improved somewhat compared to where we were pre-shutdown, despite the fact that Republicans control. And that's the math that John Thune and Mike Johnson are looking at is, well, hey, why should we give, and electorally speaking, when our brand has actually improved a little bit?
Now, we say they're position is getting better. With whom?
Yeah, okay, with whom? So I think it's two groups that it's so important to keep an eye out on. All right, changing the Republican Congress's net approval rating versus pre-shutdown. It's rallying the base for sure. Look at this, the net approval rating up 12 points versus pre-shutdown. But it's not just with the base. It's also with the middle of the electorate. Look at this, among independents, it's up 8 points as well. So we've got a situation here where Republicans with the shutdown are actually rallying their base, but it's also something that's not hurting them with the folks in the middle. If anything, it's helping them with folks in the middle. And this is the type of math that if you're Republicans, you like to see, right? Because something could rally the base but alienate those in the middle, or something could rally those in the middle but alienate the base. But the truth is, we're not seeing that. What we're seeing is the Republican brand has actually gotten better among independents, and it's also gotten better among Republicans as well, that Republican brand when it comes to those in Congress. So again, what's the electoral reason that Republicans would give in at this point?
And Democrats, of course, they have their eyes on the midterm elections. Yeah, we have elections 1 week from today, but what Democrats in Congress are mostly focused on are 1 year and 1 week from today from the midterm. So how are they positioned right now?
Yeah, so I mean, look, the generic congressional ballot, which traditionally Democrats have done really well on, and if you look at this point back when Trump was president the first time around, Democrats are up 11 points. Look at where it is now. Democrats are ahead, but they're actually only up 3 points. This is, in fact, the worst position Democrats have been on in a generic ballot at this point in midterm when there was a Republican president in the last 20 years, and this is no shutdown. Republicans aren't losing on this, and they're actually in a pretty position for them.
Concerning number for Democrats, are you saying?
This is a concerning number for Democrats because it's considerably worse than they traditionally do in midterm elections when there's a Republican president.
Harriet, thank you very much.
Thank you, my friend.
Naming Trump and Republicans do this, Republicans do that. No, that doesn't work anymore, guys. Okay, it's a new day. Right? People are getting the information for themselves. They're understanding the lies that are coming from the left. Okay, they're understanding that they are doing this on purpose to fund their pockets. Think about it. They need to cook up these schemes, these shutdowns, and all types of things in order to line their pockets. Why? What was the first thing that Trump did? He cut off USAID. He cut off through that system where they would fund these NGOs and the money would come back to them. It is a scheme that they're doing, right? That's how they depended. That's how they got all of their money. That was baked in, that it was guaranteed for them to get that money. Now that money is gone, now that these corporations are missing this money, these NGOs, these nonprofits, all of these politicians are missing the money from that. Well, guess what? They have to find new ways to get it. And I am telling you, they're keeping this government shut down, not because they care about people getting health care. Absolutely not. It is hurting them. So you have to say to yourself, they are doing something that actually helps Republicans, their opposition, their enemy, and they're continuing to do it and hurting them. And they're still doing it. And you got to wonder why. Is it because they just love the American people? They just love their base. They just love voters. They just love poor people No, they're doing it to line their own pockets. You have to always look at what are their motives for doing these things. Yes, they're crazy. Yes, they're deranged. Yes, they do things that are out of pocket and it doesn't make sense. But at the same time, you have got to pay attention as to why they're doing it, okay? And it defies logic for them to keep this shutdown going, 13 times refusing even for a provisional measure that would just give aid to actually fund the government short term until they can work out the kinks on the bigger budget. They're not even willing to do that. And it all leads back to money. Everything ties to money. But I want you to listen to this guy because I think he really says, he really wraps this up, but I'll read this. It says, breakdown update. This young man summarizes what's really going on regarding this shutdown. Do you agree with him? So let's take a listen.
Why is the government shutdown not a both sides issue? Why are the Democrats to blame? Well, Democrats are using a short-term spending bill to push long-term policy changes that don't belong there. They've said it outright. They will not vote to reopen the government unless their healthcare demands are met. What they're demanding is an extension of temporary COVID-era spending that artificially lowered healthcare costs under the Affordable Care Act. Those measures were not part of the ACA itself. They were emergency subsidies created under the American Rescue Plan Act and later extended through 2025 by the Inflation Reduction Act. When that spending expires, the ACA simply returns to its original pricing framework. Not a spike, not a crisis, just a return to baseline after years of inflated relief funding. And yes, people will feel it. Premiums will adjust. But that's not because Republicans raised prices. It's because Democrats are refusing to admit that these subsidies were temporary. They're using the fear of higher costs, a perception they created, to justify holding the government hostage. And because Republicans are in full power, this is great leverage to make it look like it's their fault. Now, here's where it gets even more reckless. They're not just trying to extend the pandemic subsidies, they're also trying to reopen and revise parts of the One Big Beautiful Bill, a massive spending law that's already been passed and signed into law earlier this year. The One Big Beautiful Bill reshaped portions of Medicaid and other federal programs, and Democrats now want to undo sections of it by tying their changes to the current funding debate. Instead of debating revisions through normal legislative order, they're trying to squeeze them into the continuing resolution, which is a short-term bill that's supposed to do one thing: keep basic government operations funded. And that's the abuse here. A continuing resolution isn't a policy-making tool per se. It's a bridge, a stopgap to prevent a shutdown while Congress negotiates the full budget, using it to rewrite sections of existing law, whether that's the pandemic relief measures or the One Big Beautiful Bill, is procedural malpractice. Again, not the right place, not the right time. Look, the Democrats are desperate. They are held captive by the socialist wing of their party, the Democratic Socialists of America. And they know the only thing they have to appease that base is empty rhetoric about Trump, MAGA, and the Republicans. So it's not really about healthcare, in my view. It's about control, about rewriting existing law through the wrong channel and using a temporary funding bill to do it. And as more people understand that, it'll be hard to unsee the man behind the curtain.
So yeah, and I want to show you this right now. There's so much I could show you. And I'll just remember I said this is going to hit all parts of, of the economy with this government. It already is the government shutdown, but it's going to continue to get worse, guys. We're heading into the holidays, Black Friday, Thanksgiving, Christmas. This is a mess. And this is actually the time that most businesses make the most money. Okay. Especially in retail. But look at this. Democrats passed the clean CR, reopen the government, stop the shutdown. So this came from the White House just a few minutes ago, probably an hour or so ago. But the Retail Association is calling on lawmakers to pass a clean funding bill because why? Why? They're all getting hit. They're all getting hurt by this. Now, I told you I would show you talking about the illegals who are basically getting paid like when they come here to this country. And I've revealed videos like this before, but just to drive this home, instead of taking care of American citizens, American citizens are going without SNAP. They are going without food for the holidays, it's honestly ludicrous. It's honestly ludicrous. And a lot of Americans who are on it do have jobs. Yes, there's a lot of waste and fraud and abuse and lazy people, but most people who do receive benefits actually do work. They actually do work. And then you have to think about the seniors that are on it, people with disabilities. There's a lot that goes into this. But if we want to get SNAP under control, yes, we need to weed out Americans who are wasting, but we need to get these illegals off of our system. And then we need to move to legal immigrants. I'm sorry. No, absolutely not. You do not get a free ride in this country while the majority of us have to go out and work every day, and then we're paying your bills. What? Like it's a deep visceral anger. The idea that Americans who are trying to get by, trying to pay your own bills, trying to afford groceries and healthcare and all these things, and then you find out illegals are getting all this for free. Then you find out
that's crazy.
That legal immigrants, anybody who is not a U.S. born citizen, what the hell is going on with our government? But see, this is what Democrats want. This is the game that they've rigged. This is how they do it. right? And you think some of that SNAP, all that SNAP and these billions of dollars that are going out, that somehow some of that's not landing back in their pocket. This is what they're fighting for as well, guys. I'm telling you, it's all about money. But it says here, Venezuelan illegals in Chicago are apparently getting all their expenses paid by taxpayers. $15,000 in food stamps, $5,000 cash, 6 months free rent, priority on Section 8 housing list. And that's not it. They also get daycare vouchers. And this is also where they come into the poorest neighborhoods, usually the Black community, Black neighborhoods, and they get all the resources. During the election cycle in Chicago in particular, there were citizens going up, even legal immigrants who were outraged by all the illegals coming into the neighborhoods, taking over the schools, taking over programs. But I think they had shut down the shelters for the veterans because they were moving the illegals in there. And people were giving testimony about this, where veterans are now homeless on the street, people who fought for this country, homeless on the street so illegals can get in there. Again, we need to find out, where was money siphoned off? All that money's not just going there. The people are siphoning off money. All of these things are schemes to line their own pockets. But let's take a listen to this.
No, $15,000 in food stamps and $5,000 cash money. Every month they're getting that. Yes, and they're getting 6 months free rent. But this is the first time I heard about it. I've heard it's 2 years free rent, getting Section 8, first prioritized before the citizens.
Wow.
So the Venezuelan migrants that are coming in here, they are getting 6 months free rent, $15,000 in food stamps, and on a credit card, $5,000. Cash. Oh my goodness. How do people in Chicago feel about that?
Oh, people are angry because there's a lot of people, that need help with Medicaid and food stamps, and they get rejected.
Tell me about the people that you've seen on the streets collecting phones.
By my house, there's a Walgreens. There's a lot of families that go stand by the door with a pamphlet saying they need money and food. And they're Venezuelans getting money. And then they go in the bus and don't pay. Go in the trains, don't pay. And they're not getting in trouble for none.
That's what they want from New York City. They want everything free.
Nothing happens. They get away with everything. By my house, a car passed by. It said Venezuela in the back. On the front windshield said Venezuela. And on the side of the window, it said Chandel Rockland. And they drove by my house.
So there you are. There you have it. This woman exposing this. Now, I don't know if she obviously has an accent. English is not her first language, but I commend this woman. This is the type of woman we want as an immigrant here in the U.S. who is calling out these things, who is calling out the corruption. Again, I don't know if she's Venezuelan, but this is very brave of her to call this out, and even the gangs who are driving around, which again, if you go back, I may need to revisit that, where the citizens were calling out Mayor Brandon Johnson. Yes, that very same mayor of Chicago, Black citizens, it was majority Black people going off on him, and the Democrats in outrage of what they're doing with the illegals and the scams that they have going on. But guys, we have got to start looking, where is this money actually going? They don't care about illegals. Of course, they want the votes. But who else is getting their pockets lined by this? Is this the new USAID? Is this why they are fighting so hard? But leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about that. Make sure you're subscribed, guys, because I have a lot more I want to bring you. And I promise you don't want to miss it. And
she's really good. Like, she's really, really, really good. I really like her. Let's see what this story is about here, because this is local. So this is from Connecticut. So I guess there's an urgent warning going out here in Connecticut. So Terry, pay attention.
Shoppers, a police department on the shoreline is now sounding the alarm, warning women to pay attention and for you to be on high alert. The reminder comes after some recent purse snatchings. Matt McFarland is your reporter covering New Haven County. He's live right now in West Haven with everything we're learning about this. Matt?
Hi there, Kara. Well, this is an issue that police departments all across the state are dealing with. These thefts often happening in parking lots just like this one. In fact, West Haven police currently investigating one. In it, we're told the thieves actually took off with the victim's car as well. And with the holidays on the horizon, they want to get the word out and get ahead of this.
Just look around, that's all. You know, I feel safe, though.
Robin Faulkner says she doesn't carry a purse or cash on her, but is constantly aware of her surroundings when out shopping.
You need to.
Same goes for Shannon Fredrickson.
I always look around. I know my surroundings. You have to.
And police here in West Haven are encouraging others to do the same, following the recent reports of purse snatchings in the area. Police tell us the thieves focus on gas stations and shopping plazas and target distracted individuals, usually on their cell phones or putting away shopping bags.
It's very simple. We are asking everybody, common sense, lock your vehicles. If you're pumping gas, lock your vehicles. Take your keys with you. When
I
you're
always
shopping,
lock
go
my
with
door.
somebody else if you can. If you have a big purse,
I don't trust nobody.
big bags, you might want to condense them into something smaller.
Yeah, Sergeant says it's likely kids, and that's often the case with these types of crimes. And we're going to have more on that part of the story coming up tonight on Eyewitness News at 5. Your reporter live in West Haven, Matt McFarland, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
Okay, Matt, thanks.
It's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. This I don't know, man. I don't know what can I tell you that you don't already not know? You already know this fucking world's crazy. And welcome to the ride. It's a wild one, right? It's like you gotta put your hands up. You're like, ah. Just in special times. Very special times. And let's check out this story here. This is the Mimi. This is about Jacqueline Garcia Torres, aka Mimi. Let's get an update on this. See what's up.
Of 11-year-old Jacqueline Torres Garcia. Her family called her Mimi. Thanks for joining us here on the Fox 61 News at 11. I'm Sarah Sanchez. Farmington police have released body camera footage which shows officers visit the home of Mimi's mother and her boyfriend months after investigators say Mimi had already died. Arrest warrants for all three suspects related to the case have also been unsealed. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi joins us in studio tonight with the very latest. Valerie, I know you went through those documents in that video. Heartbreaking stuff, but what did you learn?
Hey, Sarah. Well, Farmington police say they responded to 4 noise complaints at a home in this complex in Farmington between September of 2024 and February of this year. Now, this is where police say Carla Garcia and her boyfriend, Jonathan Nenita, lived for a few years. And where, according to arrest warrants, 11-year-old Jacqueline Mimi Torres Garcia was last seen alive. But we do want to warn you that what you're about to hear is disturbing.
How are you?
Good.
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
We got a call. There's a lot of noise coming from your apartment.
Farmington police say over a 5-month span, they were called to the home of Carla Garcia and Jonathan Nenita, but only interacted with the family once on December 29th of 2024.
They're always called. Okay. Everything's good though. Everyone's all right? Yes. Is anyone else home with you? Just the babies and my boyfriend. Okay. Is your boyfriend here? Yeah. Can I speak with him?
Yeah. Well, officers investigated. They asked if they could come inside the house, where they later questioned both Garcia and Nenita. Garcia told the officer they were planning to move out of the apartment.
They've been complaining since we first moved here, so. Okay, it's not the first time we're moving. Okay. We're actually moving. Oh, for real? Yeah, because of that.
The interaction with both Garcia and Nenita comes 3 months after police say Jacqueline was already dead.
And they're holding a
According
kid.
to the arrest warrants for Nenita, Carla Garcia and Carla's sister Jacqueline Garcia, we learned where Mimi died, how police say Carla and Nenita changed their stories, and what a doctor believes was Mimi's cause of death. According to those documents, Carla initially stated she had an argument with Mimi. Carla said Mimi was upset her mom was pregnant again and pushed her down the stairs, which caused both of them to fall down. Carla later stated Nenita got upset and kicked Mimi in the head and dragged her off. Garcia stated she never saw her daughter again. On the other hand, Nanita's statement described a different story. He stated that he was homeless at the time and that Carla had contacted him to help dispose the toad. He stated that he saw blood on the walls and that Carla said not to worry about it. The document says Nanita tried to dispose the toad at various locations until he placed it on 80 Clark Street in New Britain.
Now, according to the medical examiner's autopsy report, Mimi was 26 to 27 pounds when her body was found, and the condition of the corpse was because of severe malnourishment and not decomposition. Now, this is the doctor's opinion that Mimi died from severe and prolonged malnourishment. For now, in the studio, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
Wow, that's nuts, man. Woof. You know what? I got a body cam video. Let's watch the body cam video when they went and interacted with this incredible things. I don't know. I'm trying to be nice lately, and these people are just the worst. They need to be burnt. They need to bring back the death sentence in Connecticut. I know it was like turned over back in was it 2012 that happened, but they need a I think it was Malloy, right? I know Terry knows, but they need to bring it back because these motherfuckers need to be put to death. They shouldn't be allowed to live without parole or 40 years in jail or whatever years that they give them, you know, because Connecticut is very lenient. They're not really strict, and I hope they really throw the books at these two or at these three and just give them all life in jail without parole, and I guess they're gonna have to live their final days in jail, and it's gonna take a long time, but it is what it is. But let's go ahead and see the body cam footage of the interaction with the family. I don't know if it has volume or not. It is turned on, so we are going to hear some interaction. I'm watching this for the first time with you guys. I feel like I'm like so nosy with the police. They don't show the screen because they're showing that it has information there. That's his laptop. So it's where he's getting all the information, and they're not going to try to show you that on YouTube. But pretty cool little unit, you know. I wanted to be an officer like that, like police officer. Not really police officer. I wanted to be a state trooper, you know, but not police officer. Police officers, it's just too much. You got to deal a lot with the public, and you deal with like a lot of bullshit. Here we go. Let's listen in. They might call the police on them. I guess they were too loud or something. Damn. This is the life of the police officer.
Anything? Yeah.
Yeah, I know, Rob. They should all be just like, if it's like serious crimes like murder and stuff like that, and they're just sitting there life in jail, they should be put down. You know, it'd be cheaper. It'd be cheaper for society. And plus, if you're in life in jail without parole, I just feel like that's just a waste of money on taxpayers' money. Oh, they got the wrong house?
I don't know if that's 134 or 135. That might just be 134. Hello. Hi, how are you?
Good.
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
We got a call. There's a lot of noise coming from your apartment.
They're always called.
Okay.
Everything's good though.
Everyone's all right?
Yes.
Is anyone else home with you?
Just the babies and my boyfriend.
Okay. Is your boyfriend here?
Yeah.
Can I speak with him?
Yeah. Babe! Babe! They just want to make sure everything's okay.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm just pregnant. Just moved, you know.
All right.
Pregnant?
Hello?
He's coming up.
Oh, okay. Mind if I come in some and the heat up?
Huh?
You mind if I come in some and the heat up? Hey, how's it going? Good. We just got a call. There's loud noises and stuff like that. Everyone's okay?
Yeah, my wife's pregnant, so she just be having mood swings. And
Okay.
I be trying to calm her down.
Okay. Things happen.
I'm at the end, so it's difficult.
All right. Well, I haven't met you guys real quick. I'm just going to write your names down, say I spoke with you, and get out of here, okay?
Okay. Hi. Say hi, baby.
Everything's okay. It's
Why?
okay.
The kid
How
is
old are you?
there. Where's the other one?
3? 2? One more? There you go. There's one more, okay.
At least the police. And the girl was dead already at this time.
What's your name?
Carla. What a K.
K.
RLA.
And Carla, what's your last name?
Garcia.
And your birthday, Carla.
6196.
And sir, what's your name?
Jonathan.
J-O.
J-O-N is what I mean. Jonatan.
And Jonathan, what's your last name?
Nanita. Nanita.
And your birthday.
9/29, 1995.
Okay. How long you guys been staying here?
Almost a year.
Yeah.
Okay. Things are good?
Yeah.
Sometimes the walls are, you live in apartments, walls
Yeah,
are
we
thin.
always get complaints. They ain't been big complaints since we first moved here, so.
Okay, so it's not the first.
Plan on moving.
Okay.
We're actually moving.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, because of that.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, sometimes with apartments, you really can't choose your neighbors, right? So if someone is living one way, someone lives another way, and sometimes it just clashes. So just give me a minute, okay?
All right.
Just hang on with them real quick. Try to read it. Forward your names.
You guys haven't had a problem with any neighbors or anything like that? It's just like nice.
First one, last name Garcia, common spelling, first name Carla, Karla, 6196. Last name Nanita, Nanita, first name Jonathan, common spelling.
Is this your
9/29/1995.
Wait, I have a son. He's 1. Oh, he just turned 2. I'm sorry. Keep you guys busy. Oh yeah. You guys got a place you're going to?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. You really got yeah.
It's better, well, we came from New Britain. It's better over there because we don't have no complaints at all.
Yeah, it's a little bit different area. People are a little less likely to want to call for some noise and stuff like that.
Right.
Have a good night, we're out of here.
All right.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate
Bye.
it.
You guys have a good New Year.
Sorry, yeah, I'm sorry. No problem at all. Happy holidays.
All right. Same to you guys.
Thanks.
Oh my god.
You as well. Hey, don't worry about it. It's all good.
Listen to this shit. And they killed that girl.
Take care.
Wow. That was the body camera of the police officer going to check on the the argument and the loud noise. It was a noise complaint. So that was the body cam footage of them going to the noise complaint, and you could hear how they were just talking, and then they just played it off. They just and that little girl was dead when the officers went over there. That's crazy, right? just thinking about it, it's just wild. Let's see. I didn't have anything else open. I have Tyson de la Cruz, but I don't think. Let's see if there's anything else here to watch. We do have a story out of NBC News from Jamaica that we could check out. Yeah, the more news we get out of there, and it's not going to be good. I already know. I've been through Hurricane Andrew, which was a Category 5 hurricane, which was 165 mile per hour winds, with gusts close to like 200. So I know how it is to live through a hurricane of that magnitude, and that's Hurricane Andrew. I don't know how it is, how it, like with Melissa. Melissa was, it was a bad date. You know what I mean? It's like you thought it was going to be beauty and you got the beast. Okay. And this beast was fugly. It was fugly. And you know what fugly means? Fucking ugly. Okay. So I'm surprised a lot of people survived, but I guarantee you there's a lot of people dead. This storm really wreaked havoc. It was 185 plus, maybe 190 mile per hour winds. That's really, really disturbing. Let's check it out. Let's put the volume.
Making his way to hard hit Santa Cruz and George. We're already seeing some of that damage behind you.
Tom, we're in hard-hit Santa Cruz. Buildings here devastated. This one right here used to be standing. You can see now it is nothing but debris and rubble. Roadways here very treacherous to get in and around different neighborhoods, and there are still parts of this island that are virtually inaccessible.
Tonight, the first look at Melissa's catastrophic trail of destruction through Jamaica.
It was horrible, horrific, terrifying, the worst day of my entire life.
Homes surrounded by water, roofs ripped off, street after street littered with debris.
Food, everything gone, everything gone.
Officials say at least 5 bodies were found today, one an infant. We set out from Kingston this morning to get as close to the town
Oh my God.
landfall as we could.
This is what some of the highways look like heading into western Jamaica after Hurricane Melissa. Jamaican police using chainsaws to clear some of the heaviest debris off the highways.
As we got closer to ground zero, it got even worse.
I'm here in the town of Santa Cruz, one of the hardest hit by Hurricane Melissa. Part of the roadway here covered in mud, bringing traffic to a standstill in some parts. Residents taking it upon themselves to help with the cleanup.
Chadley Brown describing how he got to safety.
Water inside. We up here, so you have to swim.
Yeah,
I need to learn how to
As we got
put
on the road
more
again, a
clothes.
sudden stop.
This right here, the end of the road. We were trying to make it to Black River, but you can see this power line here, one of many obstructions in the roadway. You can see traffic as far as the eye can see.
Pretty fucking.
We can go no further.
The monster Category 5 storm plunged
Wow,
77%
look at
of
that.
the island into the dark, making communication with the hardest hit areas difficult, including Black River. This video was taken inside the police station there.
I
as
am
Melissa
not
hit.
surprised.
The hallways inundated with water. Today,
I am not
workers pushed
surprised.
ambulances up Black River's blocked and muddy roads. And take a look at the eerie scene inside the Montego Bay Airport.
Wow, look at the
So many
airport.
Americans who traveled there for vacation now stuck.
It's devastating.
Yeah, they can't get out.
I thought I was going to die.
At the Catalonia Hotel, the ceiling is shredded, the restaurant torn apart.
Whoa.
David Watkins is stranded with his wife and 2 young sons in Montego Bay.
Right now, we're just in survival mode, trying to find a way out.
Why
Tom
didn't
just
they
spoke with
leave
hotel owner
earlier,
Houston
though? They
Moncrief,
could've left.
who sheltered in a bathtub with his wife and infant son. That had to be incredibly scary as a new father.
I didn't know
They thought
what
it
was
wasn't
gonna
gonna
be
go.
like for him. My wife and I just
Right.
did our best to
My house.
stay calm.
My house. I
Meanwhile,
don't
in
see
Haiti,
no
Melissa's
reports from my house.
devastating impact coming into focus. The death toll there now 23.
Oh Lord.
Hurricane Melissa is still barreling through the Caribbean, making a second landfall in Cuba early this morning as a Category 3, causing dangerous flash floods and reducing homes to rubble.
Wow.
It was hell all night, this man says. It will take a long time to recover.
Oh,
Tom,
boy.
the airports in Ocho Rios and Kingston will reopen for commercial flights tomorrow. As for the airport in Montego Bay, well, parts of it were badly damaged, so it's still unclear when commercial flights will take off from there.
Yeah, it's going to be a while
Thank you for
from
watching.
Montego
And remember,
Bay.
stay updated on breaking news and top
Um,
stories on the NBC News app
Yeah,
or
let
watch
me.
live.
Okay, relax, guy. You're talking too much. It's gonna be a while for Montego Bay. Montego Bay, you gotta understand, they just got hit with a Category 5 hurricane. What do you expect? It's gonna take some time. This is really dangerous times there. Let me see if we
October
can get some more
2020.
footage of what happened there. Just gonna get some footage from Sky News. So let's watch this here from Sky News. Some more footage from Jamaica. You're making me crazy. You're making me horny. That's another one that Austin Powers. Here we go.
October 2025, the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. It has been devastating.
It's a date and a day nobody here will forget. The aftermath of the strongest hurricane to hit this island since
Nobody's talking about White House.
They lived through
White House is destroyed. I guarantee you.
A reminder, as if anyone here needed it, of the might of a Category 5 storm. This is the main street in the community of Black River. Colourful
That's
homes,
Black River, right?
restaurants, and
Imagine
bars
White
all
House.
wrecked. Villages and towns contorted.
They can't
by
reach
winds
White House.
stronger than
That's
anyone
why.
here has ever experienced. With many roads blocked, emergency
they can't reach.
services struggled to reach the worst affected areas, even with the help of Good Samaritans.
Conditions here are devastating. Catastrophic is a mild term based on what we are observing here.
Hurricane Melissa tore through the heart of this island. This region is known as Jamaica's breadbasket for its crop growing. It was still recovering from Hurricane Beryl, which caused widespread damage here last year. But this is far worse.
The roof just taken clean off there.
It's gone. Yeah, it peeled off.
Nikki's house was directly in the hurricane's path. She hunkered in the garage as it hit.
When it really started kicking, it was truly scary. The building was shaking. The windows were bowing in despite the shutters, the hurricane shutters. Water was coming in under the door. And it was just this most unearthly noise. It's not a howling. It's almost like an express train.
How difficult is the recovery going to be for some of these places?
Unimaginable. Jamaica has never had a storm of this intensity, this strength. And a lot of people didn't take it as seriously as they should have. It's just about as bad as it could have got.
Worst case scenario.
Waterfall in here right now.
Around 25,000 tourists are still stuck on the island. Most rode out the storm in hotels, some of which were also damaged. The challenge now is getting them out
Montego
and
Bay
aid
Airport.
in. This is one of the country's two major airports, a gateway to luxury resorts on the island's north coast. It won't be able to open for some time, but the other airport in the capital, Kingston, will resume flights soon. A message of resilience echoing across Jamaica.
Well, the fact of the matter is that this won't be the first and the last hurricane that we've experienced. We had a major Cat 4 37 years ago and one 37 years before that. So we've been experiencing this for decades. And we've become
never like this
more
strong.
experienced and more resilient. And it's time now for the government and the world.
Yeah, but you never experienced. Well, now
on track in the shortest possible time.
Niggas never
Families
experienced
are
something
still
like this.
trapped
Look
in
at
their
this shit.
homes in some of these communities, according
Oh my
to
God.
authorities. The Jamaican healthcare system is, they say, facing one of its most severe crises in recent memory. One hospital is out of commission on the island and two others strained. The US is sending urban rescue and disaster relief teams to the Caribbean. Finding any survivors and preventing the spread of disease here will be their first job. Martha Keller, Sky News.
They're gonna vaccinate them. Oh no, they're gonna vaccinate all of them. They're gonna throw stuff. Let's see the ABC News here.
We begin tonight here with Hurricane
Melissa, the monster storm causing widespread destruction across the Caribbean, slamming into Jamaica as a Category 5 hurricane. Families
I'm
tonight
pretty
telling us
sure
they were
White House
clinging
got
onto parts of their
fucked,
homes
right?
to survive the
Rob,
storm.
I went
Melissa, the
right
strongest
over
storm on record
White
to ever
House,
hit Jamaica, winds up to
and
185 miles per hour.
the wind,
Communities
the
underwater,
back
roads
end
blocked,
must have
houses
tore
destroyed.
up
More than
White House.
70% of the island tonight without
I
power. And
guarantee
what our
you,
team
White House is
discovered there
destroyed.
when they made their way to some of the hardest hit areas. Hotels and resorts heavily damaged. Some tourists
I
riding
was
out the
reading off
storm,
the
posting
businesses
online the video and calling
when
the scene, quote,
I did the
catastrophic.
hurricane story.
At this hour, Melissa, still a Category 1 hurricane, now slamming the Bahamas. Lee Goldberg is standing by with the track tonight, and ABC's Ike Ajachi with the scope of the devastation. He's been in Jamaica from the start.
Tonight, after slamming Jamaica with 185-mile-an-hour winds, the death toll is rising across the Caribbean, and Melissa is still a powerful hurricane on the move. Search and rescue missions now underway across Jamaica. We made our way from Kingston to hard-hit St. Elizabeth Parish slowly, the roads covered with rocks and debris. The parish taking a direct hit. Melissa came ashore like no other hurricane before it, cutting across the country like a buzzsaw. Video from police forces in the town of Black River shows residents taking refuge at their station. Authorities say they found at least 2 bodies here amid the destruction. In hard-hit Santa Cruz, where torrents of water rushed through the streets Tuesday. This is what's left of the St. Elizabeth Technical High School. The roof all but completely ripped off. Storm chaser Jonathan Petramala finding residents that rode out the storm, some telling him they literally held on for their lives.
So you had to literally, you climbed up during the hurricane to onto your roof to knock it down. So
And I see people also. Some 20 shelters and some 25,000 tourists are stuck on the island. RJ Smith shooting this video from his hotel as he rode out the storm in Montego Bay. There's destruction across the Caribbean in Melissa's wake. In Cuba, some 750,000 people remain in shelters. Officials in Haiti reporting at least 25 deaths so far. David, the town of Santa Cruz is completely water and rock came rushing through the town, covered everything. Getting back to normal.
We sure do appreciate it. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Lee Goldberg from WABC, still tracking this hurricane tonight. And of course, the other storm set to hit the Northeast tomorrow. But Lee, first, Melissa, where is she?
Belting the central Bahamas right now, David. Still with 90-mile-per-hour winds. A Cat 1, there'll still be 10 inches of rain to 7 foot. Thankfully, after a really rough night, it will accelerate and leave the Bahamas. It will go west to Bermuda as we go through tomorrow night into Friday morning, a brief period of hurricane conditions. Why is this moving away from the east coast? It's the storm belt, even 50 miles along the coast, and some coastal flooding. See that connection to the tropical moisture? It does move away on Friday. The problem is a lot of wind for trick-or-treaters, gusts to 40 miles an hour. David?
Lee Goldberg back with us tonight. Lee, thank you.
I told you, Terry, it was gonna rain. It's gonna pour. Oh, look, the camera, the energy. What's going on here? Oh, there you go. We're playing these games again tonight. My goodness, camera, what are you doing? All right, let's take a look real quick at the radar here. System's acting a little crazy, so bear with me. Okay, what is it doing? Okay, let's share that tap there. I don't know. It's just all acting crazy. All right. Here we go. And here is Melissa. And it looks like she's the system's going a little bonkers. It's like it can't handle what's going on here. All right, here we go. It's strengthening. It's strengthening over the Bahamas. Man, what a hell of a storm. What a hell of a storm. This storm is so impressive. Like, I've been covering like these storms for a long time. Um and to see a monster like this and continue to strengthen. Like, this storm is like, it's like Frankenstein. It's like, it looks like a brain right now. It really does. It looks like a brain. It looks like someone's fucking like MRI scan. Like someone's brain matter. See, because it's like you can see the like the spine is like probably back here. Here's like the brain. But a lot of pinks wrapping around. So this is it looks like it could be strengthening. It is a category 1 right now, but it's projected to regain to category 2 status before making a close drive by in Bermuda. It's let me see what's going on here, because everything's just acting a little crazy. Yeah, they look cray cray. Okay, it's playing, but it doesn't want to. Video doesn't want to play. There we go. Look at that. This is a mesoscale. This is a satellite up in space that it's sending these images, and it's like dissecting the storm, and so you get like a clear picture of what the storm is doing. Here you go. You see. So it's really trying to get its act together. It's just really trying to reform again. This storm is very resilient. Very resilient. Very impressive. But wow, what a monster, man. This is such a Frankenstein storm. It is. It's just a weird Frankenstein motherfucking storm. And it's hitting the Bahamas right now pretty good on the western side here, which is like the East Bahamas, but western side of Melissa. It's especially like right in these islands right here. I don't know. They have a lot of islands. So I don't know what the names are for these islands here, but they're getting a lot of rain and a lot of wind, and this monster is going to be going to Europe. It's not going to be as like not going to be like hurricane like craziness or anything, but you are going to get a very breezy, rainy day with this system. So here's the gift, like the gift that keeps on giving, the storm of the century, Melissa. Wow, it's definitely going to go into the record books forever. Like that's like a forever storm. Forever devastation, forever is just not good. Let's check this news out here real quick. See if we can get it set it up. Here we go. Hold on. Let me reset it up because I don't think the volume is working. Because StreamYard is just doing these beautiful updates that likes to really mess with the system. So sometimes I gotta reset it and bring it back up, which is annoying, right? There we go.
So that live report. We'll check back in with Samir on that very important story in just a moment. But now to the catastrophe in the Caribbean. Hurricane Melissa leaving a trail of destruction in Jamaica. Homes destroyed, many areas flooded, and deaths in that region. And it is not just Jamaica being affected. Major flooding swamping parts of Cuba as the storm made landfall there overnight after already bringing destruction to Jamaica.
And this is the latest track for Hurricane Melissa as it moves through the Bahamas tonight. We have team coverage with the latest path for Melissa and how people in South Florida are helping.
But first, we are checking in with Local 10's Aaron Mabin. He rode out the storm in Montego Bay, joining us live now with how things are looking right now, one day later. Aaron.
Guys, they're not looking good at all. We were on the ground here in Montego Bay, both driving and then walking the streets, especially in downtown Montego Bay, where there was just so much mud and debris all over the ground from that flooding that came in. It is really destructive. It is damaging. It is eye-opening. And who knows when the airports are going to even open.
Wow.
Hurricane Melissa leaving a path of destruction across Montego Bay.
I went through a lot of hurricanes, but this is probably the worst one I went through.
Riyad Muhammad is from Pembroke Pines and rode out the storm from
Wow.
inside his hotel room.
Because it was so intense, and I mean, the damage. Imagine the damage here. I could imagine where's other places.
Yeah, it fixed your beard, man. That beard is
Monster storm
pretty big beard.
this mess in downtown Montego Bay, where stoplights are out and power lines are down.
The damage is all around us. In this community right here,
You can't even
roofs
get
crashing
to
down.
White
There
House
is
if
wood,
they even wanted
nails,
to right
debris
now.
just all over
Only
the
way
place.
to get
And
into
look at
White
this. It
House
used to
and
be a
New Hope
bus stand, but it
will be
folded when
through
that storm
helicopter.
roared in. The damage is destructive and widespread.
Water gushes from the street as people remember Melissa's fierce strength.
We're lying down on the bed and all of a sudden, boom, everything, the windows shattered, everything. Like, thank God we had the mattress and everything there because the glass would have came at us.
Wow.
What we're doing now is the initial assessment of the damage.
Jamaica's Prime Minister Andrew Holness posting videos to social media as he surveys the damage in St. Elizabeth. Homes ripped to shreds, debris for miles, block after block of devastation.
I agree, Rob. I would have fucking left like 3 days ago. Before the storm landed. I would have left 3 days before.
The capital
I would
of St. Elizabeth, Black River, has been
I would
totally
have canceled my trip early.
destroyed.
Also in St. Elizabeth, a long line of cars navigated through inches of water, surrounded by extensive flooding, falling trees, and debris. Melissa's Category 5 winds and storm surge caused extensive damage to the southwestern part of the island.
Hospitals have been affected, schools have been affected, police stations, fire stations.
More than 75% of Jamaica Public Service customers were without power Tuesday, with thousands filling emergency shelters. Around 25,000 tourists also still stranded, with major airports closed.
Yeah, back out here live in Montego Bay, we have been talking to people, tourists who survived the storm, who say that they were inside their hotel rooms and the back balcony exploded and so did their front door. It was really a story to tell. And they woke up this morning, you all, talking with one another, hugging with one another. These are people from all over the globe mixing with Jamaicans here, so there is a sense of community, but there's also a sense of worry because tonight, happening right now, people are going into those vulnerable communities that are hard to get into, that don't have cell phone receptions right now, and they're seeing just how bad this damage is. We are live tonight in Montego Bay. Aaron Maben, Local 10 News.
Can't wait to see White House because I know White House is completely destroyed. That place is just... I'll be surprised if they have people alive there, which there probably are some survivors. But I have a good feeling that it's going to be crazy. Let's see. Let's go ahead and go straight to let's set this up because we're going to go to Tyson de la Cruz. That means we're going to be wrapping up the show. So let me see. Let me see how this news about the storm is, because I do have a CBS of the storm, so maybe let's check out CBS the storm. It's 11 minutes, so let's give it a chance. All right, here we go. a lot of devastation. You know, I knew it was gonna happen. Like I said, I lived through Hurricane Andrew, so I knew this place didn't have a chance. It went in as a Cat 5, and it was leaving as a Cat 5. Cat 5 going to Cat 4, and the storm, it was very strong. It was just a very, very strong storm. But the more videos we put on here and we just see, you know, like surrounding areas that got hit, imagine White House, what it looks like, and New Hope, what it looks like, and that all that area, that it's gonna be completely like destroyed. If your home was concrete, your home survived. But if your home was made out of wood, that is gone.
Putting me on it.
Damn, look at his legs. Oh, that is not good. Oh, poor thing, man. You know, in that mud, you don't know what it is. It could be mud. It could be shit with mud. It's just, the whole place is just a disaster. They're not going to have power for a long time. I know the U.S. is going to be sending companies and stuff out there. They're sending search and rescue out there. I'm pretty sure they'll probably send maybe a military hospital or something for these people. But this is a really bad worst case scenario for Jamaica that was not really prepared. The storm was pretty hyped for the east side of Jamaica, and trust me, Kingston was getting heavily prepared for this storm and was evacuating all their residents and visitors. But the west side really didn't do that, and they really gambled and lost. And the storm went more west, and then it curved more to the north and got to Montego Bay and destroyed a lot of the infrastructure there. Just looking at the video, it's just amazing. You know, some structures survive, and a lot of them didn't. But the ones that are fully concrete, looks like they survived. They did great during the storm. But the ones that are made out of wood and aluminum roofs, those did not fare well with the storm. The storm just wiped them out. You know, I won't be surprised if there's like hundreds upon hundreds of people not with us from the storm in Jamaica. And now it's going to be heat. It's going to be the problem, you know, because it's still very hot down there. It's going to be in the upper 80s. Possibly going to be in the 90s with that humidity, the diseases, the mosquitoes. You got to remember bugs, the mosquitoes. They're going to be a lot of people getting sick. That's why the U.S. is activating their search and rescue and medical to get to the island to start vaccinating them as soon as possible, so they don't get sick from any mosquito-borne diseases. Here, they're trying to get into areas that is pretty much impossible to cross, but they're trying to make their way into areas that were really hardly hit. They were hardly hit. This is crazy. But a lot of people trying to get back to their homes, and they're going to be surprised when they get to their homes that they're not going to have a home. You understand, inside of this hurricanes, there's a lot of tornadoes inside of it. And these tornadoes, they just wipe out everything in sight. They do not care. You know, they'll skip around, they'll hopscotch around, but when a really strong tornado comes within the hurricane, you can feel that pressure. You hear it. It sounds like a train. And I like I said, I can only speak from experience. It's like your ears pop. You start like having this like pressure in your head and your ears, and then we're like ducking in the middle where we were hiding from the storm, and sure enough, it was a tornado that was passing by, and you could hear it. The wind went woo. The little Ric Flair. Woo! It's just a coastal city. I can even show you, like, I go on my map. I can show you all the places there. That's crazy. Hold on. He's not a fishing city. CNN's a fucking liar. I could go right to it right now.
Yes, you have to have power. Do you have power here? No power.
That's White House. White House is not a little village. They have a whole station here. They have restaurants. They have a White House fishing village. Yes, they do that. They do have that. They do have a White House fishing village, but it's not just a village, a fishing village. It's a city. It's a city. It's called White House, Jamaica. And it's a settlement in the Westmoreland Parish of Jamaica with some 4,000 residents that are traditionally towards, and then they're traditionally known for fishing. Like, that's what they do, yeah. But it's still a city. You know? Now you're trying to slap and those 4,000 people and not count the 4,000 people? That's one thing, man. They'll find a way, these Jamaicans. They will find a way. Wow. They haven't even gotten to the really hard hit areas. They're just showing you the outskirts of what happened. These type of areas they got hit with like possibly like Cat 3, Cat 4 winds. The real brunt of the force was at White House and Black River. Black River got the majority of the storm surge, like the storm surge and all the craziness. And that's just is what it is, you know. Yeah, you see, Rob, it's just crazy. Yeah, it's a pretty big city, Rob. I was looking at their like what they have there. They have like a supermarket. It's called Gordon Mini Mart. They have Sherlock Seafood there. They have a university. It's like a vocational training center. They have a lounge. They have a dirt track. They got villas, sports bar and grill, a couple of sports bar and grills, a couple of more lounges, and a lot of homes there. A lot of homes. So I don't know why they're just not being recognized. Now, New Hope is a little town. See, that's like more like a little village because they only got a couple of like lodges and a couple of retreats in a little campsite that's called Camp Hope. But it's a smaller city than freaking White House. White House is pretty big, and it came up through White House. I don't know, man. Just hear babbling, right? Just what the fuck. Let's go straight to Tyson de la Cruz, and hopefully by the time we're done, we might get another video of Tyson de la Cruz because usually it gets uploaded around 10:15. So we'll see if we could watch that one tonight too. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on Tyson de la Cruz. He'll be here tomorrow, so don't forget to be here at 7:30. It's mandatory now. You be here. Oh Lord, here we go. Oh, right, sound. Come on.
Human smuggling operations in the U.S., and they've captured the ringleader.
America, Guatemala just handed over one of the most evil human beings I've ever covered to face American justice. Daniel Bavila Ramos, the 41-year-old mastermind behind a death ring that packed 160 people into trucks like cargo and watched 50 plus of them die, was just extradited from Guatemala after they finally caught him hiding out. But here's what's going to make you absolutely furious. This monster made over $330 million, turning desperate families into cash while cooking alive in 150-degree death trucks. Guatemala protected this piece of garbage for years while he ran a systematic murder operation, and they only handed him over when the heat became too much to handle.
The latest in the investigation into the deadliest human smuggling incident in U.S. history. 4 people are now charged, including the suspected driver, as the death toll rises to 53 people.
What is up, guys? Tyson de la Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This extradition represents something massive. For the first time in years, we have a foreign government actually cooperating to hand over cartel leaders who've been using their country as safe havens while they people for profit. Daniel Ramos thought he could hide out in Guatemala forever, but justice finally caught up with this death merchant. Let me break down what happened on December 9th, 2021. Daniel Ramos and his crew packed 160 people into a single tractor trailer. Think about that for a second. 160 human beings crammed into a space that wasn't designed for even half that number.
Officials saying Homero Zamorano drove through a Border Patrol checkpoint just 3 hours before the trailer was found, with 64 men, women, and children aboard. 53 have died. Officials at that checkpoint did not inspect the truck, which Mexican officials say was using the license plates of another truck.
And what happened? That truck crashed in Mexico and over 50 people died. Over 50, including unoccupied children. Children who probably thought that they were going to a better life, and instead they died in the back of a truck because of this man's greed.
The criminal complaint against him says that after abandoning his truck, Zamorano hid in the brush, allegedly masquerading as one of the victims. They had been left inside that truck, where temperatures likely topped 150 degrees. Organ failure begins at 109 degrees. Only 11 of the 64 survived.
Listen to those numbers. Temperatures inside the truck hit 150 degrees. Now, here's what really gets me heated. This wasn't some one-time tragedy. According to the DOJ, from October 21st to February 2023, this crew was running this whole operation. They were recruiting people, taking their money, and moving them through Guatemala, through Mexico, into the United States, using microbuses, cattle trucks, and these death trap tractor trailers.
A major bust in
Los Angeles, federal authorities have announced arrests tied to one of the largest human smuggling rings in the United States.
3 people are in custody. One is on the run, accused of smuggling thousands of people from Central America into the United States.
You guys, they were giving people scripts on what to say if they got caught. This whole business operation was built off of human misery. And some of these people were unoccupied minors, children traveling alone, trusting these criminals with their lives. The scale of this operation is staggering. Over a 5-year period, this organization smuggled more than 20,000 illegal immigrants from Guatemala through Mexico into the United States. 20,000 people. And they were charging between 15 grand to 18 grand a person.
According to the indictment, associates of the organization in Guatemala solicited thousands of illegal immigrants to come to the United States. Those associates then accepted payment between $15,000 and $18,000 for each smuggled alien.
If you do the math on that, 20,000 people times the average of $6,500 each, that's $330 million in revenue from human trafficking. This wasn't some small-time operation. This was a cartel-level business that treated human beings like inventory. Now, here's what really ticks me off about this whole situation. This death ring was operating at peak capacity during, you guessed it, Biden administration open border policies. While Biden and Kamala Harris were telling us that the border was secure, these criminals were making hundreds of millions of dollars, turning human beings into cash.
4 people have been indicted not for just smuggling, but alleged heinous crimes on undocumented immigrants.
Show a criminal group that acted with callous disregard for our nation's immigration laws and no regard for the immigrants that they smuggled.
Think about the timeline here. This operation was running from 2021 to 2023, right when Biden's policies encouraged mass illegal immigration. When you signal to the world that American borders are open, you don't just get desperate families. You get criminal organizations that see dollar signs. The Biden administration's catch and release policies created a perfect environment for these death merchants to thrive. They knew that even if people got caught, they'd likely be released into the interior with court dates years in the future. So these cartels would charge premium prices and promise high success rates.
While search warrants were being executed in Los Angeles on Friday, he telephoned a member of the investigative team and threatened to kill that agent and his family members by cutting off their heads.
This is the kind of terrorist level violence that Biden's weak border policies enabled to flourish on American soil. Now, let me tell you guys about the main player of this death ring, Armando Domingo Hernan Homtul, the ringleader who has several different aliases. This man was finally taken into custody alongside his right-hand man, Constable Menhen Chop, and the third conspirator, Jose Pex.
And they're still searching for a fugitive, Helmer Obispo Hernandez.
But here's where it gets even more disturbing. One of their smuggling operations involved a car accident in Oklahoma that led to the death of 7 people, including children. 7 more deaths that can be directly attributed to this criminal organization's complete disregard for human life. What really gets me about these cases is the systematic cruelty involved. These weren't people who cared about the migrants they were transporting. They saw them nothing but cash cows to be exploited.
Federal investigators say Lydia Marcos Tomas was driving 12 undocumented migrants from Albuquerque to Mesa, Arizona, when she got into a crash near Gallup last month. One woman in that car was killed.
Look at this pattern. Crash after crash, death after death. And get this, she was also not supposed to be in the United States. She took off her GPS monitor while her immigration case was pending back in 2018, and then poof, just disappeared. This woman told investigators her bosses are from Mexico, and this was the 3rd time that she smuggled a group of immigrants. The 3rd time. How many people died in her previous runs that we don't even know about?
According to court documents, Marcos Tomas told investigators her bosses are from Mexico, and this is the 3rd time she has smuggled a group of immigrants.
This is what Biden's immigration policies created, a system where criminals who cut off ankle monitors can disappear into America and continue running death operations for years. No accountability, no consequences, just more opportunities for cartels to profit off of human misery. Now, here's some good news. The Justice Department under the new leadership is finally taking this seriously. 6 people total got charged in this case. Daniel Ramos and his other co-conspirators are all facing life in prison and $250,000 in fines.
This Turco organization was destroyed, dismantled, top to bottom this past Friday, and that's what we're after here.
Investigators say over a 5-year period, this organization smuggled more than 20,000 illegal immigrants from Guatemala through Mexico into the U.S.
But here's what I want you guys to understand. This joint task force Alpha that caught these people, they made over 420 arrests, got over 370 convictions, and handed out over 315 significant jail sentences. That tells you just how big the problem became under Biden's watch. This isn't isolated incidences. This became an entire industry. For those of you that don't know what this is, the DOJ is calling this Operation Take Back America. And you know what? It is about dang time. We need to eliminate these cartels and transnational criminal organizations that Biden's policies allowed to flourish and make billions off of human trafficking. Now, let me tell you guys something. This is exactly what I've been saying about the border crisis that Biden created. When you have weak border security, when you have policies that encourage illegal immigration, you create a market for these human traffickers. These cartels and smugglers made billions and billions of dollars off of human suffering while Biden pretended the border was secure. Every time somebody tells you, oh, these people are just looking for a better life, you show them this story, because people who profited off this better life are literally killing people for money. This is why I keep telling you guys, we need secure borders, not just to protect Americans, but to protect the migrants as well. When you make illegal immigration profitable through weak enforcement, you make it profitable for these traffickers. When it's profitable, people die. You guys, 160 people in one truck, over 50 dead, children included. And this man was just extradited from Guatemala after they caught him in August. Justice moves slow, but at least it's finally moving under leadership that actually cares about stopping these death merchants. America, this extradition from Guatemala represents something absolutely huge. International cooperation to finally hold these death ring leaders accountable. After 4 years of Biden's policies that created a feeding frenzy for human traffickers, we finally have serious federal action against people who were turning human beings into cash while leaving trails of bodies across the country. The scenes that we're talking about are definitely horrific, but they're also necessary to understand. Every person who died in these trucks was a victim of both cartel greed and Biden's failed border policies that made this level of systematic murder profitable. This isn't just about politics, you guys. This is about human life. And until we completely dismantle the criminal organizations that Biden's weak leadership allowed to flourish, stories like this are going to keep happening. Daniel Ramos and his crew turned human trafficking into death machines that killed over 50 people in a single incident. They deserve life in prison, and every other smuggler needs to know that America is done playing games with these people who profit off of human misery. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.
As usual, I'm like, what the fuck is going on with the world, right? It just drives me crazy. We got the last, for tonight, we did get the last entry of Tyson De La Cruz. So we're going to go ahead and set that up. And we're going to watch the last video of the night. Tyson De La Cruz. We'll be here tomorrow. Let's put up the volume.
Service business was arrested this week and is now facing federal charges of money laundering involving drug cartels.
America, we just uncovered a massive cartel operation hiding in plain sight on Oregon streets. A Guatemalan national living illegally in the United States was running a $89 million money laundering empire through fake businesses, charging drug cartels a 10% commission to clean their dirty money. But here's the shocking part. She operated for 3 years right under federal authorities' noses, sending $18.5 million directly to cartel strongholds in Mexico and Honduras. What is up, guys? Tyson De La Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This story perfectly exposes how our broken immigration system allows foreign criminals to build financial pipelines that fund the very cartels destroying American communities with drugs. Let me tell you guys about Brenda Lily Berra Arantas. This woman was operating something called La Popular, which looked like a legitimate money service business in Oregon and Washington. She had locations in Hillsborough, Beaverton, Woodburn, Odell, Canberry in Oregon, plus Vancouver, Washington.
On Wednesday, federal investigators arrested 39-year-old Guatemalan national Brenda Lily Berra Arantes and searched the 3 La Popular stores she owned and operated in Oregon and Washington. She's accused of laundering more than $18 million to drug trafficking organizations in Mexico and Honduras.
Now, on the surface, these look like legitimate businesses where people could cash checks or send money back home to their families. But this was all a front. Between 2021 and 2024, this woman moved over $89 million through her stores, and $18.5 million of that went directly to regions in Mexico and Honduras that are known for drug trafficking operations. Think about that for a second. She was literally the financial pipeline for the cartels. While American families are being destroyed by fentanyl and other drugs, this illegal immigrant was making sure that the cartels got paid.
Court documents state Barrera Orantes wired nearly $90 million through her business, using fake information to hide her activities. Of that, nearly $19 million was sent to locations in Mexico and Honduras associated with drug trafficking groups.
What really gets me, in just a 3-month period from August to November of 2024, her stores sent over $4.2 million in wire transfers to Mexico. And during that same time, she personally accepted over $50,000 in cash that she knew was drug money and laundered it through her stores. You guys, this wasn't some amateur operation. This woman was running a criminal enterprise like it was a legitimate business, charging drug dealers a 10% commission to clean their dirty money. And to her credit, she was good at it too. She used fake sender information, broke large amounts into smaller transactions to avoid detection, and used different store locations to hide the trail.
That is crazy. That is a crazy amount of money. Insane.
Ellie didn't want to show her face on camera for her own safety, but she says over the years, she was suspicious of what was happening in these stores.
Even the community members knew something was wrong here. People were seeing luxury cars coming and going at these stores. That's not a normal cash checking business in a working class neighborhood. But this woman kept operating for years while she was in our country. You guessed it, illegally. The federal prosecutors are saying this case shows the pivotal role that money service businesses play in laundering the enormous proceeds of trafficking illegal drugs into our communities. And they're absolutely right about that. These small businesses that look legitimate on the surface are actually the financial backbone of the drug trade. Katie D. Valiers from the Asset Recovery and Money Laundering Division said the amount of dirty money allegedly flowing through these small businesses and back to Mexico and Honduras are truly staggering. Staggering, you guys. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars flowing out of American communities back into the drug cartel's hands. But let's talk about who this really hurts. When the feds raided her operation in April, they didn't just find paperwork. They seized $316,000 in cash, a 2021 Cadillac Escalade, jewelry, and high-end clothing.
Damn.
This woman was living large off of drug money while she was in our country illegally.
I'm glad that, justice is being made, and I hope that the business gets shut down and that this kind of makes a call for others to know that they're going to get caught.
Now she hopes the folks who used to send money through La Popular will find more reputable money service businesses.
Think about the legitimate customers who were using these stores, hardworking immigrants who were just trying to send money back home to their families in Latin America. They were unknowingly participating in a money laundering operation because this criminal was using their legitimate transactions to hide her illegal activity. These families were being taken advantage of by somebody who was supposed to be serving their community. Instead, she was using their legitimate business to fund the very cartel that's destroying communities on both sides of the border. This case is part of Operation Take Back America, a nationwide initiative to eliminate cartels and transnational criminal organizations. And this is exactly the kind of case that shows you why we need strong immigration enforcement and why we need to crack down on these financial networks. The IRS criminal investigation has a whole project focus on complicit money servicing businesses working for Mexico drug trafficking organizations. They're using data analytics to identify these operations, and clearly it's working because they just caught one. But here's what bothers me. How many of these operations are still out there? How many other quote unquote legitimate businesses are actually fronts for money laundering? This woman moved $89 million over a 3-year period, and she was just one person running a few stores.
Court documents allege she laundered nearly $90 million between 2021 and 2024. More than $18 million of that allegedly sent to parts of Mexico and Honduras tied to drug cartels. If she's convicted, she faces up to 20 years in prison and a $500,000 fine, or twice the value of the laundered funds.
This woman pled guilty and agreed to forfeit her Beaverton residence and all the seized property. She's looking at up to 20 years in federal prison, a $500,000 fine, and 3 years of supervised release. But you know what? That's exactly what she deserves, and it's probably not even enough. But let's talk about the real issue here. This woman was able to operate for years, move tens of millions of dollars while living here illegally. She should have been deported a long time ago before she could build this criminal empire. This is exactly why border security matters. This is why immigration enforcement matters. When people come here illegally, they set up criminal enterprises. They're not just breaking immigration law, they're facilitating drug trade that's destroying American communities. Special Agent Matthew Murphy from Homeland Security Investigations said it perfectly. Money laundering allows drug traffickers to thrive in the shadows. And by severing their cash flow, we're striking the very thing that incentivizes their pursuits. This case involved the IRS, Homeland Security Investigations, and the FBI and local police departments all working together. That is what it takes to fight these transnational criminal organizations. Coordinated law enforcement on every level. But we shouldn't have to wait for these massive investigations to catch people who shouldn't be in our country in the first place. If we had had proper immigration enforcement, Brenda would have been deported before she could launder $89 million to the drug cartel. America, this story perfectly illustrates everything I've been telling you about illegal immigration and organized crime. This wasn't just somebody trying to make a better life. This was a criminal who exploited our broken immigration system to build a money laundering empire that directly funded the cartels killing Americans with fentanyl. $89 million, you guys, from somebody who wasn't even supposed to be in our country. While American families are being destroyed by the opioid and drug crisis, this illegal immigrant was making sure the drug dealers got paid, taking a 10% cut for herself. This is why we need strong immigration enforcement. This is why we need to crack down on these money laundering operations. And this is why we need to stop treating immigration law like a suggestion. The good news is that Operation Take Back America is working. Law enforcement agencies are coordinating to take down these criminal networks, but we need to do more to prevent these operations from getting started in the first place. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.
I'm tired. I don't know how to do this, but it's just these cartels and their money laundering, and it's just out of hand. It's just going crazy. It's only going to get worse now. You know, a lot of people are going to get desperate this weekend. Just be careful with your surroundings and don't be around too many people. And if you're going to the grocery stores, just keep extra eyes at the back of your head and just always know your surroundings, because you don't know your neighbor, and those neighbors of yours could be desperate. Okay. Got a lot of people doing desperate things here in Connecticut. They're starting to snatch purses from you ladies. So got to be careful. Know your surroundings and be careful. It just sucks because Halloween is this Friday, and we're going right into November. We're head diving into November, which is going to be it's going to be very interesting. The ending, the next 2 months, it's going to be very, very interesting. But until tomorrow, we do have Tyson coming in, so that's going to be fun. You guys have a good morning, good afternoon, and a good night. I'll catch you on the flip side. And like I said earlier, I'll be back tomorrow with Tyson de la Cruz. What we're going to talk about, I don't know. I never know. We don't know. We don't talk like that. We keep it like that because we want to be like equal. You know, we want to be equal and like we'll share our pleasantries in the beginning, and then we debate and we talk, and then majority of the time we're in agreement. So it makes it it's a very enjoyable show. I rewatched some of my shows with Tyson. Had a great time. it was really good conversations, and it's nice having him over here dedicated every Thursday. You know, it's I feel lucky and I feel special, and I truly appreciate it. So with that said, you guys have a good night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Okay, be safe and sleep good, because I'm sure going to. Bye.